Yeah, rough game the other night. Players from both sides victimized by some big hits. A rather strange incident in the game that we'll have a look at. The stick of Keith Primo came out of his hand.
Picks well over 200 pounds, and Big Primo accounted for himself pretty well. I think he surprised Kevin Hatcher with a couple of real haymakers during that fight. Of course, the crowd at Joe Louis absolutely up out of their chairs with this excitement, and you haven't seen much of this out of the NHL and the Red Wings this year so far at all. And of course, McCarty getting involved with some stuff as well late in that second period. The fireworks were going.
Well, McCarty was involved, took 30 stitches in the hand. He is out. That means a change in the lineup. And Martin Lapointe, who has struggled all year while he's been in the lineup, is back in this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a chance for Marty Lapointe to try to do something to get the coach's eye. It has not happened for Lapointe. Early in the year when he played a lot, he got a lot of chances, had a difficult time getting the puck into the net. The last 2 or 3 weeks when he was still in the lineup, the chances weren't even coming, and that's a sign that something's wrong. So he's trying to work hard to get a regular spot out here, opportunities to get the equipment on, and away you go from there.
Lineup changes for the Red Wings because of injuries. As Ray pointed out, Russ Courtnall scratched, but he had some company the other night in Detroit, not playing well. In fact, he was on the top line with these two guys, Mike Modano and Dave Gagne. They've got to play smarter and create more scoring chances.
Well, both these guys, of course, are leading this hockey club offensively, as you would expect. But Mike Modano's got to watch who he's out against. Sean Burr will be out there a lot against him if Scotty can get that matchup. And he's got to get smarter at avoiding what the opposition does. Sort of let them do what they're doing, let that dictate the pace. And that may seem strange, but Modano's good enough. He's got the ability, the skating ability, and the talent to be able to work around that. To be I guess, a consistent, great player as Modano can be, he's got to think a little better and adapt to what they're throwing at him from the defensive side.
The other big story this afternoon, veteran goaltender Andy Moog is injured, not dressed. 2 goaltenders are dressed for the Dallas Stars that have never played in a National Hockey League game. We expect rookie Manny Fernandez to get the nod here this afternoon. The second half of a home and home, both here on Channel 50. We've got all the live action coming your way next, right here from the Reunion Arena. There's the goaltending matchup this afternoon. Chris Osgood, who probably would have played Thursday night, but he was under the weather with the flu, and Manny Fernandez, as you see there, his first NHL start. Mick, an afternoon game, second game of a home and home. The first one was rough. Red Wings better be ready from the opening faceoff.
You can bet on it. Mick Churla starting out there with Evison and Kennedy, who didn't play much the other night. Churla, a big hit on Taylor right out of the gate. Primo's on the ice at center as well. And they'll be rocking and rolling right off the first drop right here. And try to get the Red Wings off balance. That puck up over the glass and out of play. And this crowd fired up to the point where when they announced Darren McCarty was not in the hockey game because of the injury he sustained the other night, they had a huge boo collectively. And they were hoping McCarty would be in there to continue what he had going with Churla the other night.
Take a look at that right hand of Darren McCarty. He's very lucky. No tendons were cut. Just a few moments ago talking with Mick about it, but 30 stitches in that hand. It was caught by a skate late in the incident. He flew over the top of Churla in that melee. He caught the edge of a skate on his forehead, and that caused a cut of about 5 or 6 stitches, but he's got about 30 stitches in that right hand. And
lucky he didn't get the tendons or any muscles, so they expect him out week and a half to 2 weeks.
Kozlov with a drive just wide of Fernandez again, making his first National Hockey League start. Manny Fernandez, just 20 years of age, had an outstanding junior career with Laval of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. But of course, that's much different than making the step here to the best league in the world. As the Wings look to clear to center ice, Kevin Hatcher has it hop by him. Hatcher paired defensively with big Craig Ludwig. The Stars with one of the biggest, if not the biggest, defense unit in the NHL. There's a hit by Burr on Kevin Hatcher. Now the pass comes to Burr. Burr wheels and fires it deep into the Stars zone. Fernandez back to play it for Ludwig.
When I asked Burr about whether he preferred night games or afternoon games, he said, it doesn't matter to me. I can run over guys in darkness or in daylight. I don't have a preference.
How about trying to hit an open net from 60 feet? Is that easier?
I guess he heard about that from everybody, including his wife. How could you miss an open net and nobody in front of you?
Mark Howe out on the ice. He's another lineup change here this afternoon. Mark Howe back in the lineup for the first time since March the 9th, replacing Mike Ramsey. Howe has actually been healthy to play, Mick, the last 3 or 4 games. But the Wings were going so well. Here comes Primo. Cuts in, takes the shot, blocked by Ledger to follow up by Cicerelli. Did not get through. Here's Constantina.
Penalty Dallas away from the play. It's going to be Smolik for knocking down Primo, I believe, for the first penalty of the hockey game. And again, this line of 11, 22, and 55 Burr, Cicerelli, and Primo are communicating as well as you can. They have really been on a roll for about 2 months. They've consistently been the best threesome on the hockey club. There's a shot of it. Number 5, Smolik with the cross check. It's called a trip by Paul Stewart. But boy, they are really talking to each other out there and working very closely together, and it's paying off.
Normally, when you talk about great forechecking lines, you talk about lines with speed. Really, none of the three are speedsters, but the key is, as you point out, as we look at the officials, Paul Stewart, the referee, Mark Perry, Ray Scapinello, the linesman, the key is communication. They're positioned very well, and they all are very
smart.
physical.
Very smart. That's a lot of it's about. You can waste a lot of energy skating all over the place and accomplish absolutely nothing if you don't think well. But these guys are thinking about what they're doing all the time, and they're getting themselves in good positions and not in bad ones, not to have to extend energy that's a waste of time.
Stars able to clear it here. The Red Wings power play was a big factor in that victory. You see the Stars, they ranked 12th. They had gone, the Dallas Stars, a couple of games without allowing a power play goal, but the Wings were on top of their game on the power play. 2 for 4 the other night, and as you saw, they've raised their overall percentage to 25%, second only to the Chicago Blackhawk power play. Here is Lidstrom to Coffey, a one-timer tipped by Cicerelli just wide of Fernandez. As Darren McCarty was telling me before the game, this power play can be as intimidating as anything. Coffey, a drive, Fernandez to save, and he hangs on.
And no rebound. As along comes big Kevin Hatcher again to a little extra shove to Fedorov in front of the net. Hatcher and Ludwig, the two big guys that play together for the most part. Sometimes the Hatcher brothers are together. There's the look at the scratches. Greg Johnson, Krushelnyski ready to come back next week. McCarty out a couple of weeks with that hand. Ramsey just scratched today. And Mike Sillinger. Andy Moog with a bad hip. Wakaluk with a bad hand. Lawler, McPhee, Matt Tkachuk, Alan May, and Gord Donnelly, the bottom two. A couple of tough guys out of the lineup today for Bob Gainey.
Apparently Andy Moog strained his hip in the game the other night.
Right.
During one of the TV timeouts, he skated over to the bench, was talking to the trainer.
Well, as a matter of fact, Wakaluk, the last time they played in Detroit, he got pulled after the third goal. He went down the hallway, smashed his blocker hand against the wall, and busted it all up. And that's why he's out of the lineup for a month.
That's the second time that Darcy Wakaluk's temper has cost him a hand injury. In Toronto a couple of years ago, he smacked something when he was pulled.
Zamboni, he was going by it in the back of the Gardens.
Here is Kozlov. Made a tricky little move, but the puck was knocked away. Coffey slaps at it. Dean Evison for the Stars is there. Clears it ahead. Racing after it is Gilchrist, but it will roll down where Osgood will clear it around. 45 seconds left in the Smolik penalty. No score in the hockey game. We're just over 3 minutes into it. Coffey, second in the league in power play points, sets it up now for Shepard. Hits the late man coming, Lidstrom. Lidstrom checked immediately. Now Coffey hit hard by Senzel. And the Stars ledger gave it right to Lidstrom. Lidstrom gets it back now from Coffey. Wings need to spread it out. They go back to Coffey at the left point. He'll drive a shot, tipped just wide by Primo. Under 20 seconds left in the Smolik penalty. It comes to Coffey again. He'll go into Lidstrom for the one-timer and a save by Fernandez. He's answering the call here in the early going, the young kid. Lidstrom sends it in deep. Here is Ray Shepard behind the net. Shepard, so good with the hands handling the puck, gets it out to Coffey. Coffey tried to send it back, and it was blocked and cleared, and out of the box comes Smolik. And the Dallas Stars penalty killers.
Somebody better hurry. There's a full-scale line change, and now Kartner right off the bench will get the touch for the icing call. No score in the hockey game early. First period, back in a moment.
Back at the Reunion Arena, Dave Strader along with Mickey Redmond. Ray Lane is here with us. He'll be back with us during the first intermission. Toby Cunningham down in the truck.
Who's that? What is that? Who's that?
I heard something in my ear. He didn't think I was going to mention his name. But...
the top cat, Toby Cunningham, down in the truck today on the road.
Speaking of on the road, the Dallas Stars will be in Chicago tomorrow to begin a big 5-game road trip. Here's a loose puck now for Corey Millen. And the Red Wings, after tomorrow afternoon, will play 4 straight on the road. Bob Airy able to clear it out from the front of the net. Paul Cavallini dumps it back into the wing zone. It's cleared by Taylor. Taken by Doug Brown, but it was hit with a hand pass, I believe. Or it may have hit somebody up on that Red Wing bench.
That's what it was.
Good look at Doug Brown, one of the great acquisitions the Red Wings have made. And basically without having to give up anything. Doug Brown, of course, came off the waiver wire. The waiver draft, I should say, back on January the 18th, just before this shortened NHL season began. And Doug Brown has been very consistent with his offense, which has been a bonus. He has basically a point in every other game.
Plus 15 on the hockey club. Tied with Konstantinov for the best plus-minus. Ramsey right behind him with plus 14. Most of that at even strength.
Konstantinov just stepped on the puck, but it's cleared back into the Dallas zone. A battle for it, Darian Hatcher and Doug Brown. Here is Draper for area, shot redirected. I think Paul Cavallini blocked that wide of Manny Fernandez, again making his first NHL start. And playing well during that first Red Wing power play. We've played 5 minutes, and the Dallas Stars yet to get a shot against Chris Osgood. The Red Wings have been given credit for 4 shots. Grant Ledyard, center ice now. Here is Gagne. Backhand pass from Modano right away. He is checked by Kozlov.
Dallas on a very quick line change there. Got Modano on, and Detroit is going to have to be careful. Every time he steps on, they got to know it. Big Mike Modano.
Powell got it to Kozlov, now to Fedorov. Look at the little move he made against Modano, and now flips it out to center ice. Recovered there by Smolik. Snaps it back for Modano. 50-goal scorer last year, Mike Modano. Now Osgood clears it around. Kozlov gets a stick on it. Goes cross ice. Could be a break coming here. Yzerman gives it to Coffey. Back to Yzerman. Snaps the shot. Redirected. Saved by Fernandez. Here is Fedorov in the corner. Looking in front of Coffey. Shot. Glove save. Fernandez as he picked it right out of the air. Sergei Fedorov wanted to pass that puck, and all of a sudden he had an opening.
Dallas parted like the Red Sea. They just allowed him to come right out of the corner and unmolested come to the side of the net, really, not exactly the front. Yzerman with a deflected shot off Big Hatcher. Now, watch the Dallas players here. They're all hesitating. Do we go? Don't we go? They just all back off like the old I got him, you take him. Miscommunication. And a good stop by Fernandez on the short side. So he was just leaving it. Fedorov hesitates another split second. He's got the short side. That's what he wanted.
Face off now, Primo and Evason. Evason wins the draw. Kevin Hatcher back to get it. Primo after him. Not at Sherla. Now Karkner has it. Back to Primo. Primo just avoided Sherla. Sherla actually ran into Dean Evason. Now Burr up the right side. Cicerelli couldn't corral the pass. This will be an icing call as the Stars Ludwig gets down there just ahead of Primo for the touch-up. Another good crowd here this afternoon at the Reunion Arena, where they have sold out 10 of their first 16 home games. This is number 17. The Stars with just a 6-7-3 mark on home ice, but they've lost only 2 of their last 10 here. It's really ironic about this building, Mick. The Reunion Arena originally was built in anticipation of the Atlanta Flames moving here, and it was a guy by the name of Norm Green out of Calgary that ended up getting the Atlanta franchise to move to Calgary. And of course, Norm Green is now the owner of the team that's here at the Reunion Arena, the Dallas Stars, that moved from Minnesota. Face off to the left of Chris Osgood, still awaiting first shot at him. He's handled the puck a couple of times, but goaltenders like to get that first save out of the way. And Manny Fernandez, starting in his first NHL game, has faced 6 and several tough ones. Here Cicerelli drives a shot that was blocked by Ludwig, one of the better shot-blocking defensemen in the game. Now it comes to Cecil. Cecil being forced by Primo to play it around. A steal by Rouse. Rouse lost an edge on a skate. Dumps it wide of the Dallas goal. It's around the boards, and Todd Harvey has it there. Harvey has a teammate breaking up their center ice. It's Gilchrist. He's in for the shot, and Osgood. First shot of the game, a dandy, and Osgood comes up with a big save. Brent Gilchrist, just his second game back from some wrist problems. Nice play there. Yzerman gets it loose for Burr. He'll drop it back. A trip here and a call. Yep, Cicerelli was upended.
He hooked him
as he was going for the net.
That could have been a 3-on-2, and that's why Hatcher put the hook on little Cicerelli. Red Wings go back to the power play. 12:50 to go in the first. No score. Red Wings' second power play of the hockey game. The hook by Darian Hatcher. Here comes Cicerelli, middle of your screen. Not much of a hook, but he pulled him down. With Burr and Yzerman on the rush. First big save of the game for Osgood. Former Montreal Canadian Brent Gilchrist in alone on Ozzy, who's playing in only his 5th game. Well, actually, he played 4 games in the month of March, this being April 1st, right?
April Fool's Day.
Oh, that's right.
I'm glad you forgot, because you would have given me by now.
Yeah.
Eisenman up the right side, dumps it into the Star zone. Fernandez steers into the corner. Hatcher is checked by Fedorov, and here is Shepard. Now it gets back to Fedorov. They set it up for Lidstrom. The one-timer, he missed the net. Boy, Lidstrom, talking with assistant coach Dave Lewis, has just been shooting the puck. Tremendous velocity on it. Red Wings controlling it. Here's Lidstrom again. A shot. Save Fernandez.
That hit Shepard.
Loose for a moment.
That may have hit Shepard and then on to Fernandez. Red Wings moved the puck very quickly as Dallas really pressuring the points because of what happened the other night. Lidstrom had the goal. They're really keeping a close eye on the 2 points when they can. Well, that did not hit Shepard. He may have got the stick on it. He was knocked down by the defenseman, Ludwig. Now Dallas is trying to fade those points. Keep Coffey and Lidstrom out of making those good, thoughtful plays.
You know what's amazing about the way Lidstrom is shooting the puck? Not just that he one-times it so well off the Coffey passes, but usually he's backing up as he receives that pass. Here's Coffey with a drive, missed the net. Eiserman winds up, sends it deep to Fedorov, gets it right back. Bouncing puck, Eiserman settles it down.
They caught him here.
Fedorov went to Shepard. It was deflected out to Lidstrom, left point. Lidstrom sends it in deep. Shepard lets it go. Fedorov has it there. Fedorov back to Shepard. Shepard checked by Smolik. Ledyard gets it, and Ledyard got it to Zezel, who clears. Now you can see why the Red Wing power play, though, has been successful. Mick, tremendous puck movement. I mean, we have not seen this kind of puck movement out of a Red Wing power play in the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, nobody's hanging on to it. No individual play, and that's the key. You have that extra man. Now Hatcher.
Here's out here.
Could be a break for Downey. He's gone. He's got the great speed. He's in alone on Oscar. Fakes. Oh, and he lost control.
Hit the side of the net. Not even a shot on goal.
Slid off the stick. 25 seconds left in the penalty. We'll see if the Stars pay for missing that opportunity. Here is Kozlov. Fake shoots. Oh, and he had Ludwig going down in front of him. Shot it up over top of the net. Here's Coffey. Coffey snaps it to Cicerelli. Tried to make a little short pass to Kozlov. It was blocked. Stars clear it up the wall, but not out. Here is Coffey at the left point. 8 seconds left in the penalty. Long cross-ice pass intended for Primo was blocked and cleared. And the Stars penalty killing is 2 for 2 as Darian Hatcher steps out of the box. Shots are 7-1 in favor of the Red Wings, but no score in the hockey game. Here's a chance now for Todd Harvey. Immediately stripped away from him by Draper, who had a heck of a game the other night. There he is bumped by Kennedy. Now Brown gets it loose for Konstantinov. Left wing for Draper, who was trying to drag that left foot. No, we had an opportunity to ask head coach Scotty Bowman about what his club will do this afternoon, perhaps differently than they did on Thursday night.
They may try to play a much more forceful game in our end. They said they were disappointed about their offense, and we'll have to be careful of getting the puck out of our end a little quicker. Sometimes you get lulled into what they were doing the other night. They got a lead though, but when they had the lead, of course, they're a strong team.
Scotty Bowman, excuse me, obviously talking about what the Dallas Stars might do.
Yeah, we asked them both sides, but that was the Dallas side, and Detroit really dominated after icing coming here. After they went up 2-0, they had a shot advantage of about 6-1 early in that first period in Detroit. The shots ended up 16-6 or 16-8, I think, after the first period. And here comes that last breakaway by Donnelly. The miscue by Coffey. The puck jumped right over top of his stick. And Mike Donnelly, a goal scorer in college, a couple of good years with LA. Not going to miss too many like that.
Approaching the halfway mark of this first period. Face off now to the right of Manny Fernandez. Trying to write quite a script here in his NHL debut.
You don't have 29 goals back-to-back like Donnelly did in LA. Missing the net like that, so you know he's mad at himself for that.
Now Airy, center ice, Checked by Millen, able to work it into the Stars zone. It's backhanded by Paul Cavallini, the center ice for the Stars. Howe sends it across. Constantino. Run into by Corey Millen. Cavallini from behind his net. Downly cross-ice pass for Klatt. Stars have it on the move. Here's Corey Millen. He is tied up, though. Taken to the boards by Konstantinov. Now Howe pokes it away from Downley. Konstantinov back to get it. Around the boards, Paul Broughton waiting there for the Stars. Broughton's pass tipped behind Lynette. Howe has it. Moves it quickly to Erie. And Erie just making sure that he clears the zone. Got it center ice. Darian Hatcher for the Stars. Played it. Erie intercepts. Drives it into the Dallas zone. Cavallini played it with a skate. Backhand pass. And now here is the Red Wings making a change. Sean Burr drops it back for Rouse. Rouse and Kartner paired up on defense. Kartner got it out to center ice. Driven back in by Ludwig.
Ooh, nice flash by Gagne on Rouse, a major league two-hander. Rotten hauled down, no penalty there. The crowd looking for it.
Well, Tim Taylor digs it loose out of his skates. Goes to Marty Lapointe. Tries a shot that's blocked. And comes in on Manny Fernandez, who covers up. 8:53 left in the first. Still no score. Well, Manny Fernandez has answered the call so far. He has stopped all 8 shots. The one opportunity that Chris Osgood faced was a big save.
Sounds like a shortstop in baseball, doesn't he? Is there a Manny Hernandez?
Oh, you got me.
Catcher or shortstop or something?
I think there's a Manny Fernandez, matter of fact.
Could be.
Taylor center shot, score!
Lapointe.
Marty Lapointe. That's what he needs to do.
We talked about on the open. Take advantage of your opportunities, and Lapointe, when you see him, he's down on one knee. And pops it up over top of Fernandez, up over his shoulder. May have hit the Dallas defenseman on the way up. We will see. Right off the faceoff, too. See Taylor go in to get the loose puck. Lapointe goes to the front of the net. He got away from Smolek. Popped it right upstairs. 1-0 Detroit. That is a huge goal for Martin Lapointe to score.
Well, number 37, Tim Taylor, who led the American Hockey League in points. Marty Lapointe among the leaders in goal scoring. How many times they must have done that last year? Here's the centering attempt. Lapointe almost had another one. It hopped over his stick.
Hold it. We got garbage on the ice.
Well, actually, I think it's one of the partitions that popped out.
Piece of steel or aluminum or whatever. Speaking of
so Lapointe, his second goal of the year at 11-13. His other goal was the game-winning goal in Toronto way back in early February. Take a look here at the pole coming off on that big hit. There it is. There's Marty Lapointe, glad to be back in the lineup and very happy to take advantage as the crew here at the Reunion Arena. We're looking for some help to get the repairs done.
Here's a look at up here in our broadcast booth. This is an aluminum, well, not aluminum actually. You got the aluminum being fixed on the ice. This is a graphite stick. And right down here in the end, I don't know if you can see the jagged part right up in here. This is Dino Ciccarelli's stick. Broke it right there with a slash the other night from Darian Hatcher. Now downstairs earlier, I took that stick against the wall. See how hard it is against a brick wall and hit it, and it fractured like that in two. But boy, I'm going to tell you, when he got slashed, the guys were talking about it, looking at the jagged edge and the hard slash, the strength that must have had to come down to break that stick.
Now, like the aluminum sticks, they use the plugs.
That's the plug right here. Yes. The plug goes in the end here. They heat it up and pop in the new blade, and away you go.
1-0 Red Wings lead on the goal by Marty Lapointe at 11-13. And the shots are 10-1. Lidstrom now to Fedorov. Sends it ahead for Yzerman. Yzerman drops for Kozlov. Tries a shot blocked wide of Fernandez. Gagne tries to clear, held in by Lidstrom, sends it back along the boards. Kozlov will get there. Kozlov dumps it around the boards of the Dallas zone. Yzerman gets to it, but it's tipped away by the Stars to center ice. Kozlov drops it back for Coffey. Tipped by Yzerman, tried to get it to Fedorov. Stars intercept, send it back. No icing here. The linesmen wave it off right away. Lidstrom ahead now for Kozlov. Kozlov looking over his shoulder, see what he might have coming late. And 4 white jerseys are on him. They knock the puck off his stick, and Coffey drives it back into the Dallas zone. Darian Hatcher now gives it ahead for Gagne. 6 straight 30-goal seasons coming into this year for Gagne. And of course, with the 48-game schedule, that streak is going to come to an end. Here is Cicerelli now with Burr and Primo. Primo's coming late. He's open. The shot stopped by Fernandez. Primo tried to go low, and
Penalty
Primo
Detroit.
maybe getting a penalty here. Markout will go back to touch.
It is Primo who's going to go for holding or interference. It looked like Primo may have tried to just slide it underneath the goaltender. He didn't seem to get a lot on it. Whether he meant to or not, I'm not sure. But a good setup. Burr goes to the net. That attracts both guys. Primo's wide open, and a good stop by Fernandez. And there is the hold of the interference. See what the call is by Paul Stewart. Didn't have much room, Primo, on that. He had nowhere to go, being at a bad angle. Just tried to go underneath, and there was nothing there. 7:01 to go, first period. Martin Lapointe, the only goal of the hockey game. And that has been a long time coming for Lapointe. He's only got 1 goal coming into today, and he's missed the last couple of games because things just were not going well. And that's taking advantage of your opportunities, boy.
Red Wing penalty killing, like their power play, is second best in the National Hockey League. Only the Boston Bruins have a better percentage. You see the Dallas Stars have struggled a bit on their power play. They were 0 for 1. Only 1 opportunity the other night, as physical as that game was.
See, there's a screw up right there. You can't afford to have those hitches in your get along or everything breaks down. Look at the easy clear. I mean, they're not making the obvious easy play to help the other guy out. They're making it difficult for themselves, and that's the reason your power play is down low.
Right there, Cavallini was tied up by Yzerman. That allowed Lidstrom to clear it down the ice, and the Boo Birds coming out early here on this power play.
That first pass is a big one because usually you should catch one of the opposition guys out of position and leave him behind you as you go offensively. Once you make the pass by him, he should be out of the play if you execute going down the road.
Puck took a strange hop. It comes to the start, but immediately knocked away from Donnelly and cleared by Yzerman. Paul Cavallini will get it back now from Corey Millen. From out of the Dallas Stars zone, Red Wings with a 1-0 lead. Just under 6 minutes left here in the first period. Bird and Gagne come together. Todd Harvey sends it out to the line, took a hit. Here is Ledger, drives a shot, blocked. Loose puck in front. Here's Harvey, a great hit there, and a stop by Osgood. Well, Chris Osgood facing only 2 shots so far, but he's had to make a couple of dandy stops.
Ozzie would have started the other night against Dallas, except he had a bit of the flu, and Mike Vernon continued his hot ways. And there was Harvey, the big goal scorer 2 years ago with the Junior Wings. He had 50. He's going to be, from all looks so far, Todd Harvey is going to be a player in this league. He can score goals. He comes to play. He's tough. He likes the rugged play.
The other thing about Todd Harvey, a captain with the Junior Wings. He also was captain of the Canadian junior team, Mick, that won their 3rd straight gold medal. So this kid is a leader. Out to Kevin Hatcher. Moves it along the boards. Now Gagne. Gagne bumped by Rouse. Lidstrom there as well. Harvey for the Stars. Modano for Dallas. Looking for that puck to come loose. Modano gets it. Nice little drop pass through the legs to Harvey. Harvey back along the boards. Rouse with a physical play.
You got him boxed in over there. 3-on-2. Oh, Osgood interferes with Gagne and got away with it.
Well, he played the puck. Maybe that's why he did get away with it.
What a collision. Harvey and Burr on the far side.
And Keith Primo steps out of the box. So the Red Wings special teams do it again. Here is Harvey. He had Gagne cutting for the front of the net. Sent it behind the net. Now here is Burr. Burr coming out with it. Sends it Up in the air, Darian Hatcher, the captain of the Stars, plays it back for Gagne, who chops it in behind Chris Osgood. Back to get it now is Rouse. Rouse up the left side for Primo. Primo checked by Gilchrist. Nice little move there to get the puck free. Churla goes after Primo. Cicerelli for Shepard. Late man, Howe with a shot to save Fernandez. Just held his ground very well. Dean Churla now. Pulls it out to center ice, taken away by Primo. Churla runs into him. Zezel to Gilchrist. To Churla, the pass behind him. Look out, Cicerelli and Zezel came together. Here is Paul Cavallini on a rush. Dumps it across the Detroit zone. Gilchrist is checked by Shepard. There's a real pileup along the boards on the near side, and Shepard gets the loose puck and clears it down the ice, and not quite enough of an angle to prevent the icing call that will come with the touch-up by Paul Cavallini. So the goal by Marty Lapointe, standing up with 3:55 to go in the first. Wings 1 and the Stars nothing. John Burr and Todd Harvey a few moments ago as the power play for the Stars was winding down. And the face-off now to the left of Osgood following the icing call. Draw controlled by the Stars. Kevin Hatcher, quick shot up high over top of the glove of Osgood. Fedorov sends it around the boards. Yzerman hustling, got there, but it was tipped by the Stars. Yzerman gets it right back. He goes to Fedorov. Drives it ahead, looking for Kozlov on the deflection. Fernandez come out to play it. Fedorov shoots it right back across the Dallas zone. Taken by Yzerman, back to Coffey. A one-timer scores! Manny Fernandez looks skyward because he let that in on the short side, and it looked like he could see it all the way, but Coffey may have surprised her. It may have gone through the legs.
Yeah, let's have a look. I don't know if he was screened or not. I mean, he did look up. It wasn't a hard shot. It just got between the legs.
Key is how quickly he let it go, Mick.
Again, quick puck movement by Detroit. They don't hang on to it long. Yzerman one-timer to Coffey. There was a Dallas player out there. I believe it was Smolek, number 5. Here's Fernandez looking from the right. He looks where the puck goes. Here it comes. He just goes down into the butterfly, and it goes between the legs. Now, whether that was screened by Smolek, number 5, we can't really tell from that angle. But a 2-0 Detroit lead. Dallas doesn't need those kind of goals. Those kind of goals are considered, obviously, the easy fashion that you really don't have to work for, and you just hate giving them up, especially when it's hard to get them.
Good angle on the overhead. No wonder I thought it beat him on the short side. He was favoring that right side. He was all the way over there in position.
I didn't see that. Did it end up between the legs?
And it did end up going between the legs. But
he moved from his right to his left when the backhander by Yzerman went back to Coffey.
So he was just upset at himself that he let that get through him. So for Paul Coffey, his 8th of the year. Yzerman and Fedorov at 16:29. Here is Kennedy. Center shot, save. Osgood, another good stop. All 3 saves that he has made have been dandy. That one, I believe, Dean Evison.
3 quality chances, no question about that.
Here is Brown across the line. Dumps it in deep. Airy going after it. Going for the front of the net is Draper, but the pass intercepted. Stars give it away. Konstantinov tuck angle shot deflects off the inboards, and Fernandez just covers up.
Actually,
for the glove.
They've had 4 quality chances, and they only got 3 shots on goal.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that gentleman there is Rick Mills, who is from the state of Michigan and now the general sales manager of TV 50's sister station on the new United Paramount Network. So, don't know who Rick might be cheering for with his Michigan ties. And
pretty good play here by Kennedy. Sets up Evison. Look at him. He had the gun cocked. Backed off from Rouse just a bit, and got a good point-blank opportunity. Osgood sharp on the 3 shots that he's had.
Well, the other night it was the Dallas Stars getting off to a 2-0 lead before the game was 3 minutes old. The Red Wings, Mick, have continued to shut the Stars down. I mean, they have had 3 quality chances, but other than that, it's
that ain't bad.
No,
if you get 3 or 4 a period, that's not bad at all.
That's the Tinoff drive. Fernandez acted like he didn't see that till it got by the post. Draper sends it back in deep. Fernandez communicating with his defense. Ledger plays it around. Downley moves it quickly to Corey Millen.
Draper back to help out defensively. That's communicating again.
Here is Ledger trying to get a shot away, and he waited too long, and it closed off as the Wings got back. One thing the Red Wings are forcing teams to do, Mick, is they're forcing them to make their decisions much quicker than they want to.
Right.
Here is Corey Millen into the zone. Crisscrossing with Dahme, he mishandles it. LaPointe sends it ahead now for Coffey. It hopped over his stick, and the Stars clear it back. And it's Paul Coffey back there to corral the puck. Coffey winds up, rides one in on Fernandez, who steers it aside. Paul Cavallini checked by Tim Taylor, who picked up his second point of the season and second point in as many games. Here's a steal, backhander by Shepard, blocked by Darian Hatcher. Well, the Red Wings just chopping at every loose puck. Bob Gainey was complaining after the game the other night about every pass.
Churla penalty coming up. It's going to be against Churla, I believe, or is it Detroit? I don't know now.
Yeah, it is Churla. He's indicating charging.
Detroit had the puck, yeah. There's the roll over the hands by Paul Stewart. 2 minutes for charging. And Churla not happy at all about the call. A minute 15 left in the period, and this is not what Dallas needs now, down 2-0. Being outplayed badly in the period. There's LaPointe. Well, I don't know about that. I've seen a lot worse than that happen in a hockey game. I think Churla may have a complaint there. A legitimate complaint.
Well, Shane Churla is out there to stir things up. Yes, he did leave his feet.
That's a sign normally for a referee to pay attention to you. Big Mike Modano from the Detroit area will be Ray Lane's guest in the first intermission. Mike out of Livonia. Played his junior hockey out in Prince Albert out in the West. Remember way back, he was going to come, but then had contract negotiations, stayed out there in that the Tier 2 junior league, I believe it was, out in Prince Albert. Now in his 6th year.
He was the first pick overall. You're right. He did have some contract problems. And actually in the Western Hockey League that year, he broke his wrist in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And there was some thought that may be a serious injury. But obviously he's come back from that. Had himself a heck of an early career. Minute left in the period. Penalty to Churla at 18:45. So this is a big kill for the Dallas Stars. They already trailed 2-0. Here is Kozlov near the boards. Gives it off to Primo. Bouncing puck. Primo gets it to Kozlov. Kozlov to Primo. Primo tried to stuff it in front, blocked by Ludwig.
Boy, Dallas, broken stick. Gilchrist goes to the bench.
Here's a chance for Primo. Stop. Loose puck is there. Kozlov. And now Primo's shot hit the back of Kozlov's leg. Kevin Hatcher starts out with it, shorthanded with Gilchrist. Dumps it to the corner. There's tremendous pressure by the Red Wing power play again. And they'll have an opportunity here if they get it cleanly into the Dallas zone with just under 20 seconds remaining in the period. Coffey with the speed, gets it there. Loose puck taken by Shepard. Backhand shot right through on the save, Fernandez. Now Cicerelli to Kozlov. A shot blocked loose in the crease, and Fernandez just
Here
does
they come
get
after
it covered.
Kozlov. A couple of guys going after him right away when he's trying to dig her loose in the crease. 5-7 to go here. I don't think Scotty will pull the goaltender with almost 6 seconds in a 2-0 game. It's a little too much for an accident to happen with a face-up deep.
He did it the other night with 3.1 on the clock.
Right.
There it is there, and just now the whistle comes. And
see the boys laying the lumber on Kozlov. Gee. Players today have to have the almost the kidney pads on the extension of their shoulder pads coming down the back to protect against. They're all going after each other to cross-check each other, and I'm not really sure where that came from, but it's a bad move, whatever it is. Will I pull him? I don't think so.
Wait for another face-off here, see what happens.
No point in rolling the dice that much.
Yzerman and Zezel. Zezel, one of the best on the draw. Tied up Yzerman there. Cicerelli trying to get loose. And that's going to do it for the first period. The Red Wings outshoot the Dallas Stars 18-3. They outscore them 2-0. We mentioned an afternoon game following a rough contest on Thursday night. Red Wings better be ready from the opening faceoff. Well, they certainly have done that. And a tremendous period for young Manny Fernandez playing in his first NHL game, but just under siege from the third best offense in the National Hockey League. 2-0 when we come back. Ray Lane with Mike Modano, and we'll have Mickey with the telestrator, that and much more right after this.
Red Wing Hockey, brought to you by your Valvoline retailer, Stepcamp Chrysler Plymouth, Northwestern Dodge, and Westside Chevrolet.
Time now for Intermission Update with your host, Ray Lane.
Ready, set, go. Yeah, we come back to Reunion Arena here at Dallas, Texas after the first period of play. The Red Wings leading by a score of 2-0. LaPointe gets his second of the year, and then Coffey registers his 8th of the year, both coming in the first period. And sort of a mild first stanza as far as what you were looking forward to, maybe, after watching these two teams get together on Thursday. By the way, games played last night. Toronto and Chicago skating to a 3-3 tie, in case you missed this. St. Louis knocked off San Jose 4-1. Calgary beat Edmonton 6-2. Washington over Quebec 6-4. Tampa Bay 2 and Hartford nothing, so they shut them out there. And Vancouver beats Anaheim 6-1. Those were scores from last night. 6 other games going on this date, and there's 2 other afternoon affairs. We'll bring you up to that in just a second. But first of all, we await the arrival of Mike Bonanno. Hopefully he'll show up. We'll talk about that in a second. Right now, let's take this timeout.
Well, as they play I Want to Drive the Zamboni on the sound system here at the Reunion Arena, the 2 Zambonis work on the ice as the Red Wings enjoying a big territorial advantage, as the shots on goal would indicate, 18-3 over the Dallas Stars. Dave Strader back along with Mickey Redmond.
Wow, last time I looked on it was 13-3.
Well, the Red Wings getting all kinds of shots on their power play, working the puck very well. Talking with a couple of the media people up here about Manny Fernandez and the great first period he had. The first reaction was, boy, that second goal, the goal by Coffey, really hurt. He did get over there, was in position, but unfortunately it snuck through the legs. And I know we got a couple things on the telestrator to look at here.
Yeah, we certainly do. We're going to look at both Red Wing goals. And as you watch here, hold it right there, guys. See, right off the face-off here, we got 4 Dallas guys right in this area. Martin LaPointe is the guy that's going to score the goal, and he's tied up with Smolik, the defenseman, right there. Timmy Taylor gets loose right off the draw. I mean, when you got 4 guys here, you should be able to cover everybody, and Dallas just does a very poor job of coverage. Now watch LaPointe as Taylor gets there first. Look at LaPointe right here. Drives loose from Smolik. Taylor centers the puck, and boom, there's no problem for Martin LaPointe to chip it up over top of Fernandez. But just bad coverage by Dallas. Bob Gainey cannot be happy with that at all. And as we cue it up to go to the second goal of the hockey game, you're going to see almost the same thing in just a different way. And watch as we go here. Hold it right there. Look at here. You got 3 Dallas guys back. That's not a problem. 2 Red Wing guys, 2 on 3 should never be a problem. But watch happens as we roll the play. 3 Dallas guys. Here comes Fernandez to get the puck. Hold it right there. 3 Dallas guys are paying attention to 1 Red Wing guy. Fedorov just got kind of looped back off the middle and goes to the boards. And Fernandez, this is the only mistake he makes here, is he goes to where nobody is. You got all these Dallas guys right up the middle here. Go ahead and roll it. And he goes right to Fedorov. And look at all the Dallas guys are looking around. He just goes across the front of that. Hold it there. Now we got 4 Dallas guys over on this side of the ice. And Yzerman's going to get the puck. Roller, guys. Thank you. And watch Coffey. He loops back to the blue line. Now Dallas is a little bit late getting over there to Yzerman. Boom to Paul Coffey. I believe this guy here, Smolik, screened Fernandez on the play. I don't think he had a clean look at the puck. It may have looked bad going in, but I'm not sure you can blame the kid that much for it, because the darn thing, I think, was screened by the defenseman going for the block.
All right, we'll take a break here. We'll be back with more, including our scoring summary and our special stats. Red Wings leading 2-0. Back at the Reunion Arena as we take a look at the scoring summary. All Red Wings in the first period. Marty LaPointe is second. Tim Taylor with the only assist at 11-13. Then Coffey, his 8th from Yzerman and Fedorov at 16-29. Shots on goal, 18 for the Red Wings, just 3 for the Dallas Stars. As we take a look at our special stats from the first period of play.
I want you to tell that little story to the folks, too, that you just told me about Fernandez.
Yeah,
and,
we'll
get to that in a second.
We'll get to that in a second as we take a look at...
Face-offs pretty even. The hits 7-5. And interesting, we'll talk a little bit more about a lot of the smaller Red Wing players really initiating the hits. They did that to Dallas in Detroit Thursday night. You see the big difference in power play time. With this kind of a game and the way the Red Wings can score goals with their offense, Dallas is going to have to really be careful not to take unnecessary penalties, especially in the offensive zone, as Churla did. Power play success, there you go, 0 for 2 and 0 for 1. But they can't afford to take those penalties and give the Red Wings power play that kind of opportunity to be coming after them as they did in the first period. We'll be back with more. 4 minutes on the big clock here at Reunion Arena. Left in the intermission, 2-0 Detroit after 20. Back with more right after this.
Red Wing Hockey, brought to you by Tuffy Auto Service Centers. For brakes, shocks, and mufflers, Tuffy does it right.
Back at the Reunion Arena, first period is history, and the Red Wings with a 2-0 lead over the Dallas Stars. This is the third of 5 meetings. The two teams will play here again a week from Tuesday on April the 11th, and then they'll play later in the month of April at the Joe Louis Arena. Take a look at some scores from around the National Hockey League. Other afternoon action at the Boston Garden. Rangers have lost, what, 7 in a row now, Mick?
7 in a row, I believe they've lost.
They lead Boston 2-1. Philadelphia leading Pittsburgh by a score of 1-0. Buffalo right behind the Red Wings in the goals against category with a 1-0 lead over the Islanders.
Well, the Red Wings will return home on Redbird 1 right after this hockey game with another big division game tomorrow against the St. Louis Blues. That game is on Fox Television, and it starts at, what, 3 o'clock, I believe?
Yes, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. All the games, I believe, are starting at 3 o'clock across the country. Eastern time. Is that right? Eastern time?
There's Manny Fernandez talking with some of the Dallas media guys, and his father apparently is from Morocco, Northern Africa, and thus the Spanish name, Manny Fernandez. His mother's French-Canadian. Matter of fact, her brother is Jacques Lemaire, former Montreal Canadian, now the coach of the New Jersey Devils. So Manny Fernandez may not have a hockey-sounding name, but he certainly has a lot of hockey background in his blood.
My old sentiment, Jacques Lemaire.
Let's get to our first clue of Who Am I, brought to you by the Wellness Plan, an HMO that's good for you. This player was a first-round draft pick and the 3rd player taken overall by the Detroit Red Wings in 1979. You think you know the answer? Put it on a postcard and send it to the Joe Louis Arena, 600 Civic Center Drive, Detroit, Michigan, 48226 for a chance to win a couple of tickets to a future Red Wings home game. Paul Coffey, Mick, the other night in Detroit, 6 shots on goal in the first period. Here this afternoon, 6 shots on goal in the first period.
Well, the Red Wings, obviously, for good reason, want to get he and Lidstrom involved in the offense as much as they can. They're up ice. They're both good skaters, especially Coffey. He might be the best skater in the game of hockey today. I mean, you know, Fedorov's a tremendous skater with his leg strength. Coffey, he just skates so effortlessly.
Yeah, that's the difference.
It's unbelievable, you know. There's a lot of good skaters. That big guy Frady, who's just been moved from Boston, who's not been playing. He's a great, powerful skater, but Coffey is poetry in motion the way he skates.
Power play Detroit. They're still working on some time. Cicerelli, quick shot, save, rebound,
It is.
score! Dino Cicerelli looked off Manny Fernandez, faking the pass to Fedorov, and got his own rebound to make it 3-0.
He wanted to go across, and you know what happened here is Dallas just can't seem to get out of their own way right now. Craig Ludwig had Cicerelli one-on-one, and he turned his back to look at the shot. The rebound's coming off the goaltender, past Ludwig at the same time. Now he doesn't know where Dino's at. Watch what happened. He turns around, boom, boom. It's all over. Too late. Quickness of Cicerelli, jumps on the rebound. Watch, soon as he turns there, he's off position, and it's too late. So Ludwig mad at himself for the way he played that. He's got to take the body, let the guy shoot it if he has to, let the goaltender cover it, and then take Cicerelli out of the play. He does not do that, and they pay the price.
You know, Dino Cicerelli had not scored a goal, Mick, in the last 6 games, but there hasn't been much talk about him being in a goal-scoring drought because he's been setting up so many goals.
Yeah.
He had the 4-assist game against Winnipeg last week, so Dino Cicerelli getting his 11th of the year, a power play goal.
Bob Gainey asking for an audience with Paul Stewart down there and getting one now. I'm sure he's giving him an earful. Stewart never one to take criticism lightly. He's a former player. He was a tough guy in the WHA. Played for Jacques Demers, as a matter of fact. And he will answer back when he takes criticism. He feels it's unfair.
Yzerman and Fedorov, who set up the Coffey goal, assist on the Cicerelli goal. So Bob Gainey is...
Gainey's darn around the ice. He's...
Yeah. Well, the other night in Detroit, Mick, the power plays were 4-1. That can happen sometimes when you're on the road. But now the power plays are 3-1. And Bob Gainey...
He pointed up to the clock. I'm not sure what he's referring to. 1948. I mean, it was right off the face-off. I don't know what we're dealing with here. Whether the clock started right away or not, it seemed that more than 12 seconds would have run off.
Well, maybe that's what he's arguing, because there was.
But by the same token, he doesn't want any more time off the clock. He's down 3-0.
Number 27, Shane Sherlock. 10 minutes for misconduct.
Oh, okay. Shane Sherlock gets a 10-minute misconduct?
Yes.
For what? Unsportsmanlike?
It must have been. They just called it a misconduct penalty. So the Red Wings with a big 3-0 lead.
Was Churla in the box? I'm not even sure. It was Churla.
Todd Harvey tries to throw a big hit on Mark Howe and missed him with most of it. Konstantinov goes back around the boards. Airy is there. Gilchrist going after him, but Airy able to clear the zone, and back to get it now is Grant Ledyard. The Dallas Stars' character is going to be tested here this afternoon. They really can't afford to take runs at the Red Wings, take more unnecessary penalties. They are badly behind. They've been badly outplayed, and they need to be patient and not try to make up a 3-goal deficit in one shift.
Sherlin went in the box at 18:45, so a minute and 15 had come off his power play time or penalty time. And the Red Wings score at 12 seconds. And Sherlin gets a misconduct as he complained to Stewart after coming out of the box in the goal.
Bouncing puck, Osgood let it go. Karkner ties up his man. Cicerelli to the loose puck, slides it to Primo. He didn't clear the zone. Broughton, nice play to drop it back to Darian Hatcher.
Early Detroit. So
Hatcher centering pass and a tip there by Evison, saved by Osgood. Now, why did the whistle blow on the possession by Dallas?
I'm not sure.
Oh, you had a shot there a moment ago of Bob Gainey, and of course he played for the Montreal Canadiens many of those years under Scotty Bowman. Here's what Scotty had to say about his former player.
Well, most of the players of that style, I'm sure, can end up being pretty good, either managers or coaches. They're hard workers, and I think players like that have to pay a lot of attention to detail when they're playing, because of the fact that it's not easy sometimes to get the tough assignments. So I think he pretty well knows what it takes to win in this league.
Bob Gainey, of course, the only 4-time winner of the Selke Trophy as the best defensive forward in the National Hockey League.
They used to complain about Gainey. I remember that he skated, looked like he skated in sand a lot because he was not a smooth, natural skater, not like Paul Coffey is. But you know what? He just got the job done consistently. He played defense for Scotty Bowman at times when he had injuries back there. But what a good, solid player he was.
You know the last year he played, Mick?
Key guy, I have no idea. My guess would, what are we? This is 95, right? I would guess 85.
88, 89. He played for the Montreal Canadiens. I was surprised. I knew he had played for the 86 Stanley Cup team.
Right. There's only 6 years out then.
Right. That's right. Power play for the Dallas Stars. The penalty on Sean Burr at the 137 mark. Red Wings with a 3-0 lead. Ledyard kind of mishandled the puck. It rolls deep into the wing zone. Osgood to Lidstrom. It's knocked away. Madonna sends it back to the point. Kevin Hatcher tries a shot. Good stop there by Osgood. His right arm on it.
You know, it really looks like Dallas is suffering from a major case of lack of confidence. They don't seem to be sure of what they're doing. They're doing very little with conviction. It's happening by mistake at times, and they just seem to be unsure of themselves and making plays and where to go and how to get set up, and confidence can be a big part of that.
Whereas Kevin Hatcher came here right before the start of the season. He missed the first training camp because he was a holdout with the Washington Capitals. There were rumors he might be coming to the Red Wings, and he was traded here for the captain, Mark Tenorti. Hatcher's shot hit somebody in front.
I got
and
it here.
Comes loose for Yzerman. He may break now with Airy up the left side. Yzerman winds up, drives a shot, tried to go short side and just missed the net. Then it's taken by Coffey center ice. He'll back up. He'll kill some more time off the Burr penalty and snap it all the way back down the ice. Darian Hatcher now back behind his own net, starts it ahead with 55 seconds left in this Dallas Stars power play opportunity. Early second period, Wings with a 3-0 lead. Look at Kevin Hatcher walk right through. Big stop again by Osgood. Boy, every stop Osgood has made has been a dandy.
Sure has.
That's what they're looking for Kevin Hatcher to do, though. Mark Tenorti was a character guy, one of the most improved players probably in the National Hockey League in the last 5 to 10 years. Came in basically as a fighter the Rangers organization, that became quite a player. But not an offensive rush the puck type of defenseman that Kevin Hatcher can certainly be, even more often than he's been this year. And a bad break for the Stars here. It went right by the stick of Mike Downey and Darian Hatcher. Primo forechecking, even shorthanded. Paul Cavallini now looking for the speed of Mike Downey. That play will be offside as Corey Millen could not stop. Again, another example of just things breaking down for the Dallas Stars right now. There's Paul Stewart.
They're a team that depends on Modano, Gagne. They would look to Donnelly and Millen to provide some offense with that speed. Courtnall, who's been sat out, he played over 200 consecutive games and just not playing well on the last year of his contract, on the option year, really. And Bob Gainey benches him. You heard what Modano said to Ray Lane. He's a key guy for our team, and we need to have him in there. And I don't think Mike Modano was saying he disagreed necessarily with Gainey's decision to sit him out, but he's saying, hey, we need him in there, and he is struggling right now.
Wing back at full strength. Here's Millen. Centering pass for Downey off his stick and wide of the net. Big hit by Marty Lapointe, and a big hit there by Rouse. Millen's shot. He flubbed it, and it went wide of the net. Burr gets there. He is hit by Klatt. Here's a shot from the right point. Well wide of the Detroit net. Now Lapointe again clears it ahead. Burr center ice now for Shepard. One-on-one against Ledyard. Watch Shepard. He's tricky. He makes the move there. Cuts behind the net. Shepard one-hands it to the corner. Now it's picked up by Mike Donnelly, and he clears it to center ice. Klatt is there. Trent Klatt did not dress the other night in Detroit. Here's Mike Donnelly, rolls a shot through, and a right pad save by Chris Osgood. 15.5 remaining second period. Wings with a 3-0 lead and a solid performance again. Paul Broughton and Bob Rouse behind the play. Here is a centering pass. Fedorov, quick shot blocked by Ludwig. The Stars clear it across, but that allows the Red Wings to keep the pressure on. Gilchrist plays it around. Kozlov gets a skate on it. Dumps it deep now for Yzerman. Tried to go to Fedorov. It's blocked. Fedorov got to it. Yzerman, he wanted to go to Kozlov, and the puck just rolled off his stick. Now to Fedorov. He tries a shot as he was taken to the ice. Lidstrom against Gilchrist. And the Stars finally get it to center ice, but not cleanly, and it's intercepted by Fedorov.
The Detroit forechecking and their speed and hustle is really making it difficult for Dallas. A little bit that they get a chance to do, bang, they are just jumped on immediately, and they just haven't got time to do anything.
Fedorov lobs it deep into the Detroit zone. It skips into the glove of Osgood. He hangs on. We'll take a break. Red Wings with a power play goal early in the second period, lead it 3-0.
And a few times Dallas gets something going on the Detroit net. There's the pass across the front. Mike Donnelly just a little too far to the side, and the pass in his skates. There's been a lot of Dallas passes like that. Again, part of that reason, Detroit forcing Dallas to make plays before they want to.
Cavallini off the faceoff, fired it just wide. That was a clean win on the draw.
Draper without a stick.
Here is Cavallini again, centered, but Mark Howe is there. Didn't get enough on the clearing attempt. Now here's a chance for Gagne. Drives a shot. Osgood steers that aside. Now Darian Hatcher run into by Brown. Konstantinov, 2 Stars run it in. Up the board, slapped at by Brown. He clears the zone. Cavallini flipped it right to Konstantinov. Sends it across for Mark Howe. Now a little bank pass now to Konstantinov. His pass intercepted Todd Harvey. Harvey dumped it toward the net. Intercepted by Howe. Mark Howe carries it into the Stars zone. A pass across for Brown. Now he stuffs it out in front. And the Stars back the other way. Dallas making a change as Konstantinov up the right side. Doug Brown lobbed it out to center ice. Ledyard sends it back toward the Detroit zone. Red Wings with a 3-0 lead. 13.5 remaining here in the second period from the Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. Beautiful bright sunshine this morning as the team came over to the rink. Nearly a miscue there by the Wings. Able to recover. Ciccarelli gets it to center ice. Now here's Draper. Chris crossing with Burr. Gives it to Burr. Burr winds up, sends it back to Ciccarelli. Tipped away by Klatt. And here comes a 3-on-2 for the Stars if they hurry. Emerson leading the rush, left wing for Donnelly. Donnelly's pass, he waited too long, but he gets it back. Intercepted by Coffey. And Coffey snaps it ahead for Burr. Well, again, a 3-on-2 is there, and the Stars don't get a shot. Cicerelli drives the shot, save, rebound, hit the goal post.
The light went on, too, I believe.
The light went on for a second.
And we got a penalty, announcement of a goal, or what do we got?
I'm not sure what that hit. It looked like it hit the post, but it may have hit up inside. I think it's a goal.
Well, they'll be reviewing it. Paul Stewart is at the penalty box now, the official timekeeper. It was Burr that chipped it up in the air. And
they've already put it up on the board, but let's have a look. Yes, they have.
Well, it could have hit the bar. It could have hit up underneath the bar. Cicerelli got a good rip at it as they go to the net 3-2. There's Burr. Hits the goal post. Oh, you know what, though? But it hit Burr and went in the net. That's what it is.
The question is, though.
The net off the mooring.
Yeah, the net probably would have been off.
Oy, oy, oy. It was simultaneous as it hit Burr on the post, hits Burr, goes in. There goes, you know, you can't tell from that angle. It's being reviewed now. If he's called this a goal at this point.
Maybe we can tell here. Now there's the
post puck. I think it's in the net. Yep, there it goes up. So they're gonna allow that goal to stand. We'll take a break and give you the news, good, maybe bad, when we come back for Red Wing fans.
Well, Paul Stewart over-explaining to Scotty Bowman why this goal has been disallowed. That's what they've announced. Now, Scotty's saying, well, they put it up on the board already. You can't take it back once it's up there. That's what he's arguing. Now, from the views that we've had, it looks like that puck was over the line before the net came off.
You're making an assumption, though. You know, you really don't see it over, you know, before the net goes up. But, you know, obviously, the replay officials in these buildings are supposed to have more angles than we got, we're told. And they have communicated with Paul Stewart, and what did he say?
May have been able to read the lips there of Eiserman and Cicerelli saying you called it a goal.
There's Burr. So you lose sight of the puck at that point.
Now it's off.
Yeah, you don't know. Where's the puck? Still can't see it. In there somewhere, but anyway, it's no goal. That's the news.
It looked like Cicerelli and Eiserman were saying you called it a goal, and he said yes, but once they go upstairs, then they have the final say on a play like that. See if the Stars can capitalize on that break. Now Burr drops it back for Coffey. Coffey flips it high in the air to center ice. It remains 3-0 with 12.5 left in the second period. Of course, the video replay people have more angles than we would have to look at.
Well, from what we saw, then they did get a break.
Boy, that play looked offside there, but they let it go. A scramble in front of Osgood, and John Burr comes up with it, banks it off the glass. It gets through Ludwig, and Hatcher got there ahead of Primo. Primo gets a stick on it, though, to keep it in the Stars zone. Cicerelli was checked as he tried to dump it toward the Stars net. Off the skate of Gilchrist. Again, that first pass coming out.
Right in the feet. That's just a simple icing that is not necessary.
Monday and Tuesdays, UPN and TV50 bring you the hit new shows. Monday it starts at 8 with Star Trek Voyager, followed by Pigsty at 9. Then at 9:30, comedian Richard Jenny provides the last as Platypus Man. Tuesday at 8, Richard Grieco stars with the hot new detective series Marker, followed by All the Glitter of Las Vegas and The Watcher at 9. Great shows from UPN, TV50.
Steve Eiserman on the right side for the last 3 games with Sergei Fedorov. Slava Kozlov seems to be comfortable over there, doesn't mind. And Keith Primo, of course, with Cicerelli and Burr, that second line, getting lots of ice time as well.
Ledger drives it in. Osgood around the boards. Big hit. The Stars like that. It was Karkner that went down. Fedorov bumped, recovers to send it deep into the Stars zone. Look out, here comes Eiserman with a hit on Smolik. Knocks the puck loose. Smolik recovers. Gets it to Ledger. 11.5 left second period. Red Wings with a 3-0 lead. A steal by Eiserman. Slides it into the Stars zone. Fernandez out to handle it. Goes up the left side. Mike Kennedy's pass. Gets to Gagne. 2 Red Wings are back. Gagne didn't handle it cleanly. There's the steal by Eiserman. And it gets to Fedorov. Fedorov just sends it back into the Dallas zone. Arian Hatcher now for Gagne. He is bumped by Marty Lapointe, who has one of the 3 Red Wing goals here this afternoon. Mark Howe for Lapointe. Lapointe cross ice on the move. Taylor Drove it into the Dallas zone. Paul Cavallini checked immediately by Shepard. That knocked the puck loose. Here is Lapointe. Lapointe gets it to Konstantinov. A shot stopped by Fernandez on the short side, and he'll hang on for the whistle. We mentioned that the Dallas Stars, Mick, have a big road trip coming up. It starts tomorrow afternoon at the new United Center in Chicago. They move on to play Vancouver, Los Angeles, Anaheim, and then St. Louis a week from tomorrow. So they'll play 5 games in a span of really less than 8 nights because of a couple of afternoon games.
Terry Karkner complaining to Paul Stewart about the hit he took down in the end. He didn't touch the puck, and that's why he complained.
Yep.
It was little Gagne that threw the shoulder into him.
Konstantinov, after the Red Wings win the draw, dumps it in deep. Cavallini around the boards, and it's tipped out of there by Klatt. That'll be icing if Konstantinov gets there ahead of Donnelly with a good speed, but Konstantinov had the angle on him. There's Vladimir Konstantinov, who up until the last few games was getting involved in the offense himself, but no points in the last 4.
Well, if he gets hit much more like he did by Darian Hatcher the other night in Detroit, he's going to stay out of the offense. He was up at the opposition blue line. He got a major league elbow.
Right in front of the bench.
And hurt it. You know, he stung him on the shoulder, and he got it right in the face as well. And he was walking around the dressing room afterwards, just same old Vladdy.
Well, the tradition continues here on TV 50. Mick, proud to be the new home of the Detroit Tigers. Monday's the big day, opening day. Be sure to watch Monday afternoon at 1. The Tigers host the Kansas City Royals in the 95 regular season opener. Detroit Tiger baseball on TV 50, where we put sports in your face. And, of course, there are tickets available, and we're still maybe worried about the start of the season coming up with the injunction that was granted by the NLRB and the owners appealing.
Look out here, 2-on-1.
Mark Howe gets the lead pass from Shepard. Howe shoots in the save Fernandez. Stars cleared around the boards. Oh, Lidstrom fell down. Look out here. Paul Cavallini winds up, drives a shot. Osgood way out into the circle to make the save. And back the other way, Marty Lapointe racing after it. He gets there ahead of Darian Hatcher, who made the right play. The loose puck taken by Airy. Airy's pass is blocked by another Dallas player that went down, Corey Millen. And it's out to center ice now for Gilchrist. Taken away by Coffey. Now it comes to Draper. Draper up the right side. He'll drop it back for Brown. Brown drives a shot that's blocked over the glass and out of play. Well, you know, you were talking, Mick, during that first intermission about some of the Red Wings smaller players, but playing big. Those two right there, Bob Airy and Doug Brown, remind me a little bit, as you and I were talking about, the St. Louis Blues of the late 80s and early 90s that had guys like Dave Lowry and Bob Bassett. They weren't big goal scorers. They weren't expected to be.
Yeah. And they're out there with Draper, another small guy who plays much bigger than he is. He's throwing his weight around. They're initiating it. They're not getting it. They're delivering the hit. So.
The big thing is they've got the skating speed, and that's what Lowry and Bassett had. They were great skaters. Coffey shot blocked by Zezel, and Zezel recovers his pass, though did not get through cleanly, and it's Draper again.
Somebody's unhappy down there.
One of the Dallas players too close to the ringside mic. 5 minutes left in the second period. A 3-0 Detroit lead. Lidstrom. Going to be a giveaway here as Zezel steals a shot. Score!
That may have gone off Paul Broughton in front of the net.
Broughton was in front of the net, and the Stars have made it 3-1.
Coffey's really upset because Detroit had full control of this play, and the pass Lidstrom tried to deliver went off a skate, and that allowed the turnover to take place. It was a pass for Coffey from Lidstrom. Bad choice because Coffey was completely covered. Nothing he could do, and the puck, I'm not sure what it went off. It would go off the blade of the goal stick from the right side. We'll see from the overhead look. There's Coffey to the front of the net. No, it did not. It went right through Osgood by the look of that shot.
Now Paul Broughton got his stick in there.
I think it hit Osgood on the inside of the right pad and went in the net. So Dallas, on their 11th shot of the hockey game with 8:51 to go in the second, gets on the board. 3-1 now. And icing here against Detroit right away.
So the no goal at 3-0 turns out to be a big play as the Stars score and get back to within 2 with 8:41 left here in the second period. Peter Zezel, who took that errant stick after it flew out of the hands of Keith Primo, the other night in Detroit. Got hit in the temple. Looked like it could have been very serious. Good to see him back and healthy, and he scores a goal here to get Dallas on the board. And right back in this hockey game, they trail 3-1. Well, the face-off deep in the Detroit zone. Primo on the draw with Harvey. Wings win it cleanly. Cicerelli tripped up. Penalty coming. Todd Harvey goes right to the box. And so another important kill for the Stars, because now they've gotten some momentum with a goal, Mick. Good hustle by Dino, and there's the trip by Harvey.
Not much argument there.
11:25, the time of the penalty. Just been handed a note here. I don't know if this is a final score. Boston University 3, University of Maine 1, playing in the NCAA championship game. Maine, of course, was that triple overtime victory over Red Baronson's Michigan Wolverines. Congratulations, though, to the University of Michigan for an outstanding season. Michigan State as well, Lake Superior, all out of the CCHA and representing that league very well. Here come the Red Wings, power play number 4. They have not converted on their first 3, but they have really controlled the play and had many great chances. Cicerelli, or rather they do have the one by Cicerelli earlier in this period. There were 3 seconds left, so they are 1 for 3. Now Cicerelli along the board. Took a slash there, goes to Yzerman, back to Lidstrom, back to Yzerman. See, the Red Wings just don't hang on to the puck very long. They're moving it crisply and quickly. It comes to Lidstrom, better off a one-time this one, but it was anticipated and blocked by Ludwig, and he'll shoot it down the ice. Deep in the Dallas zone now. Darian Hatcher able to clear. Gilchrist will be screened off the puck by Coffey, who takes the pass. Coffey over the line. Goes wide on Darian Hatcher. Coffey behind the net. Actually, the puck hit the side of the net, comes loose. Now Yzerman. Nice play there to poke it away from Cecil. Yzerman shoved to the ice by Darian Hatcher, and look out, the Stars had a player at center ice, but they gave it away. It comes to Coffey. Drives a high shot, missed the net. They have tried to set up a pass there. Actually broke his stick on that. Lidstrom, he broke his stick.
Can you believe that? Look at that. Back to back. You're not going to see that very often.
You know the guys are trying to lean on those shots when they do that.
Those one-timers.
Here comes Coffey. 10 seconds left in the Harvey penalty. Konstantinov drives it in around the board. Tipped by Kozlov, taken by Howe. Snaps it toward the net, tipped by a Dallas player. And ends up wide. Out of the box comes Harvey. Red Wings still pressuring. Kozlov with a chance stop. Primo fans on it. Goes back. Konstantinov shot. Hit a leg and ended up in the corner. And Todd Harvey starts it back to the Dallas Stars. Rink wide. It goes off the stick of Evison. And Kevin Hatcher holds it in. Nice move there. Shot deflected wide. Tucked in front. Kevin Hatcher bangs away at it. Osgood has it covered as Konstantinov.
Guess who's got a hold of who in this melee? Kevin Hatcher and Keith Primo. They had the major battle at center ice at Joe Louis the other night. It's Konstantinov that...
Darian Hatcher still giving it to Kozlov. Konstantinov still going at it there with the Dallas player, Dean Evison, I believe. We'll separate these guys with 6:14 to go in the second period. Looked like the Wings were going to clear, and Hatcher held that in. Nice shift with the puck there. That hit a skate. Here's Hatcher with that long reach.
He had about 3 pops at it. 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4. Finally, Kozlov nullified his stick while they untangle all this mess. I got a few notes in here. Corey, Scott, and Ryan are here from Grand Rapids. Russell from Grosse Pointe. Scott Sturm from Classen. Jeff Betrez, it looks like, back in the Detroit area. Jay Brown, who's down at an Air Force Base, I think, in Oklahoma, the note says. Dave and Tammy Varan. We're in Abilene, Texas now from the Detroit area.
Well, I know hockey has arrived here in Dallas not only because of the Red Wing merchandise that we saw people wearing, but as we walked across to the arena, Mick, I think you must have signed 3 or 4 of your old hockey cards. And speaking of Red Wing merchandise, you can show your colors by purchasing your Red Wing merchandise from the pros down at the Joe Louis Arena. Call 1-800-WINGS-25. Operators are standing by right now for the best in authentic Red Wings merchandise. 1-800-WINGS-25. So we have coincidental penalties on the 2 number 16s, Konstantinov and Evison.
They're also here from Lincoln Park. Rick Sanchez, Mike and Rob McMahon from Wyandotte, Cherry J and Todd Jurwitz from Mount Clemens, and from Grosse Pointe, Eric, Gary, and Don. Grosse Pointe, Dearborn, and Trent.
Different 4-man unit here for Scotty Bowman. Doug Brown, Bob Airy, Rob Rouse, and Mark Howe. The Stars counter with Paul Cavallini, Gagne, Modano, and Darian Hatcher. And here is Airy, wound up for a shot.
Oh, look out. Major game misconduct, I think, on that one. Darian Hatcher, and he just smoked Rob Airy into the boards. Boo.
Well, the initial hit was away from the boards, it looked like, Mick, but then, boy, he just ran him face first.
Well, we'll see what the call is. He'll be lucky if he's not out of the game, by the look of it.
Well, if there is an injury at all, I mean, they can call it 5 minutes automatic now. We got 2 minutes up there, but I don't know that Paul Stewart has made his determination. He is talking at length with Mark Perry, the linesman. He may not have seen the entire thing, but our TV 50 camera
let's look again. First look, it looked bad.
Oh, geez, yeah, he was away from the boards and taken in.
At least he did not go in head first. That's the first thing you get concerned about that neck. Take another look at it. He put the stick in the middle of the back, right there, and just give him a heave-ho. And I've seen a lot worse, but it's potentially very dangerous.
Well, the only reason he didn't go in head first, he got his hands up at the last second.
Right.
They still have not put it up on the board, and now they have 2 minutes.
Well, that was, I guess, if you look at all the hitting from behind that goes on in this game today, that would be middle ground, I would say. Could have gone either way for a major, but Paul Stewart thought no. So fortunately, Darian Hatcher for the Stars is still in the hockey game. And fortunately, Airy is all right, it looks like. He's shaking his head wondering, I can't believe they didn't give him a major on a play like that. Huge size difference, obviously, between Hatcher 6'6" and Airy 5'9", 5'10".
Minute 31 now, if we don't have any further penalties, of a 4-on-3 power play opportunity for the Red Wings, who are 1 for 4 on the power play.
14-15. 14-15, the time of the boarding call. Bob Gainey's got to be wondering, boy, what do I got to do to get this hockey club going? They have not played well at home over this shortened season, Dallas.
You know, they had a 5-game winning streak about 3 weeks ago, but they have really gone sour since then.
Now they're right in the middle of the pack for a playoff spot.
There you see the overall records that the teams at home for the Stars, on the road for the Red Wings, who have lost just twice in their last 9 away from Joe Louis Arena.
Now Detroit has lost 3 of their last 20 games, I believe, overall.
Coffey into the zone, but had it knocked away. Stars recover. Ledyard looking for an opening. Fights off Fedorov. Fedorov stays on him, but it's cleared all the way down the ice. Well, good job here by the Stars initially, not allowing the Red Wings to set up. Coffey, Lidstrom, Fedorov, and Yzerman, the 4-man unit. Fedorov couldn't handle that puck cleanly.
Dallas should have to collapse back in with a 4-on-3. They should gain the zone like that very easily, and they do.
Yzerman sets up Coffey. Coffey stops it, goes back to Yzerman. Yzerman waits, back to Coffey with a flip pass, and it bounced over the stick of Paul Coffey. It's late in the period. The ice is chopped up, and sometimes those passes don't work as well later in the period. Fedorov able to cut in, drives a shot. Fernandez a save. He looks behind him, and the Stars clear. Half a minute left in the 4-on-3. Osgood leaves it for Lidstrom. Lidstrom starts it back. Shepard has replaced Yzerman. Fedorov replaced by Kozlov. Shepard rolls it in deep. Fernandez blocks it, goes back up the board with it. Ludwig was checked by Shepard. That allowed Lidstrom to keep it in for Kozlov. Kozlov sends it back now to Lidstrom. Across for Coffey. Coffey back to Lidstrom. A one-timer. He missed the net. Boy, did he drive that one. Out of the box come Evason and Konstantinov. Lidstrom. Nice play there.
Did you ever hear that coming without looking?
Here is Kozlov. Cross-ice pass, intended for Cicerelli. Cavallini blocks. Look out, a man behind Lidstrom, but the puck hopped away from Gilchrist. Under 4 minutes left in the period. 10 seconds left in the Darian Hatcher penalty. 3-1 Detroit lead over the Dallas Stars. Look out, Coffey just got his head up. Now Kozlov, right side for Cicerelli. Darian Hatcher out of the box. Stars back in full strength. Going down to cover up was Ledyard, and he may have taken the face, or the stick rather, of Cicerelli in his face, but he was down on the ice, so I don't think we're going to have a call here. It remains 3-1 Detroit. Back in a moment.
Well, if you're with us between the first and second period, we were talking to Mike Modano. He said he was just coming off that ankle injury. It was still bothering him. He's had one brief turnout here in the second period. That ankle is still pretty sore. In fact, he says he thinks he's going to stay sore the rest of the year. But anyway, it's been bothering him here in the second period. Back upstairs.
All right, the Red Wing fans are here with their signs as well. Let's just say the Red Wings are the real stars of the NHL. Okay. Red Wings 3, the Stars 1, 3:38 left in the second period. The shot's 25-14 in favor of Detroit. Paul Cavallini wraps it around the board. Konstantinov gets there, but it was tipped by Mike Donnelly and back into the Red Wing zone. Mark Powell, look at that. He faked the drop pass and got Churla away from him. Shane Churla has not played a whole lot here in the second period. Now Primo off his edge, able to slide it across for Konstantinov.
Oh, look at what Churla was winding up. Coming after Konstantinov. Man, Fernandez got to go to the bench. It'll be a penalty Detroit for tripping.
A slight touch there by the Wings, but they allow it to continue. Here comes Corey Millen. Now it's tipped by Primo, and we get the call.
And Churla was wound up heading for Konstantinov. You know there would have been a collision there. Somebody put a little bite on him, and
it was Burr.
Was it Burr?
He looked over his shoulder and saw exactly what you just described, and he said, I'm going to help Vladdy out a little bit.
Well, as soon as Churla saw Konstantinov going for the puck, he said, oh, here's my chance.
You know what? Stewart is pointing at Dino Cicerelli, and Dino's going, you got the wrong guy.
You know what Dino just said to Burr, you stay over there, I'll go. It's a team player.
Well, that's actually not a bad exchange because Sean Burr's a penalty killer. Dino's not, for the most part. Watch Sean right here. Stuck his foot out.
He kicked the left foot out and tripped Churla. That's what it was.
Dino was right behind.
Yeah.
And Stewart just saw Churla go down and may have just guilty by association. You were in the area code.
Cicerelli at 27 p.m. coming into the game.
Power play for the Stars. Madonna was out there.
But this hockey game is a long way from over, I'll tell you right now. It's a 3-1 hockey game, and as much as the Wings have dominated, here's the Stars on the power play. Late second period, so.
Chance to pull within one. Fedorov with a clear. Look out here. Doug Brown, will he get through the two Dallas players? He races for it. He does get to it. Looking to protect that puck. Rob Ariel, long shot, missed the net. Gagne picks it up. 2:20 left in the period. 1:25 left in the Cicerelli penalty. Maybe I should say the Burr penalty being served by Cicerelli.
All right.
Modano chops it into the Detroit zone. Osgood.
Hear him yelling. There's communication that didn't work. They're yelling the other way. It was Coffey, and Osgood didn't heed it, and Dallas retains possession.
Comes to Ledyard. Ledyard winds up, drives a shot right through Osgood. The save, bouncing puck. Konstantinov a stick on it. Yzerman able to clear backhand all the way down the ice as he took a crunching hit from Trent Platt. Now Ledyard. Check from behind, moves it ahead for Churla. Churla checked by Konstantinov. Yzerman has it. Coffey up into the play. Churla takes a run at Yzerman. Yzerman just turns around and goes to the bench. 35 seconds left in the penalty to Cicerelli. That'll be a two-line pass. Yes.
Boy, that's just not thinking, boy, making a play like that. It was, I think, Paul Cavallini who, yeah, the guy may be forcing you from the far side, but you can't throw that puck until you gain the blue line. John Burr will be Raylaine's second intermission guest here from the Reunion Arena.
Maybe he'll talk about that trip that he got his line mate Dino Cicerelli to serve for him. John Burr missed that open net the other night. About 10 seconds left in the hockey game. It was a 3-2 Detroit lead, and Burr kind of flipped it toward the net, hit the goalpost. Took a lot of ribbing from his teammates on that. John Burr comes into this game. He's gone 11 games now without a point.
Octopus. It's an octopus alert out in front of Osgood. The linesman finally realized that he should be blowing the whistle right now to stop. There's nothing serious going on. Unless he's thinking I can get it while the game's going on. But here you got trouble. Guys backing up with an octopus on the ice. Now they go ahead and blow the whistle when Dallas gets in the offensive zone. They should complain about that.
Well, it was knocked offside.
Is that what it was?
Yep. Well, they call it right away. Now, the guys at Joe Louis Arena are used to handling this stuff. I don't know that they know down here in Dallas, Texas, what that is all about. 10 seconds left in the Cicerelli penalty, and 1:05 left in period number 2.
You know there's Red Wing fans in the area when you see the octopus, and I guess if they don't have the jersey on and you can't see them,
I still wonder.
You can probably smell them.
I was going to say,
holding on to that octopus.
Where do you hide that when you come into especially a building like this? It's 70 degrees outside. You got that in a plastic bag or something. Oh. You must get a few looks from the people sitting in your area wondering, what the heck did you eat last night?
Coincidental minor penalties, I think, coming up here to Harvey, or no, is he just going to go one to Karkner? Harvey and Karkner were tied up together, and holy mackerel, he's only going with Karkner.
Well, the Red Wing bench just can't believe it. They can't believe it.
Now, 1:01 left of the period. 3-1 Detroit. Still 6 seconds left in the Cicerelli penalty.
Big face-off then, Mick.
Yeah, it's inside the Detroit zone, just barely, maybe 12, 15 feet, but control very important off the face-off because it's going to take 10 seconds for Cicerelli to get back into the play.
May have noticed Scotty Bowman holding up his right hand there. He has a stopwatch in that right hand. He likes to keep track of the shifts. And he doesn't like them to last much more than 45 seconds to a minute. And a big face-off here, as Mick mentioned. 6 seconds left in the Cicerelli penalty, and he's all the way back his penalty box on the far side of center ice.
Primo can either chip it straight out over the line if he can go forward or back to Lidstrom. Looks like that's where he wants to go. That's where he was trying to go.
Comes to Ledyard. Ledyard at the point. Winds up. Fires a shot. Tipped and a save by Osgood just as Cicerelli comes out of the box. Here is Rouse. He bumps with a Dallas player. It comes loose for Gagne. Gagne. Centering pass.
Ooh,
fired wide. Ooh. Grant Ledyard, I think, just missed the net.
He did.
35 seconds left in the period. Ledyard's pass was blocked by Primo. Here's Kevin Hatcher across the line. His pass was blocked. It ends up in behind Osgood. Osgood along the boards with it. Didn't get it by Modano. Modano out to the point for Ledyard. He kind of flubbed it. Modano, though, gets it over to Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher's shot is blocked up over the glass and out of play. And they got Rouse and Platt. Looked like Rouse said, you want to go? And they both decide against it right here.
Rouse is upset because he got high sticked by Big Hatcher, I think, over at the boards just a few seconds before. 17-3 on the clock here near the end of the second period. And Modano getting a power play shift. That ankle obviously bothering him. And there's the miss by Ledyard, just out of the reach of Cicerelli. Clean missed the net.
Play there by Gagne coming out of the corner that, again, like Paul Coffey did the other night, he dumped it out before he went around the net, hoping to catch the Red Wings off guard, and he did set up an opportunity. Steve Yzerman going over for a new stick, I believe, with 17.3 seconds on the clock. Talking with Steve Yzerman about playing right wing, and of course he's played some wing but he was saying mostly left wing. And he said he found that playing left wing was a tougher adjustment defensively, especially, than playing on the right side from his normal center position.
A lot of that has to do with coming out of your own end. You're on your backhand. Right-hand shot on the left boards.
Rouse lost his stick. Goes over to get it. 7 seconds left in the period. Stars trying to dig it free. Coffey doing a good job deep. They get it loose. Cavallini drives the shot. And the horn goes to end the period as that shot was stuffed at by Zezel. Zezel trying to give it to the goaltender, and that's when the Red Wings come over and say, no, you're not going to do that.
Hatcher and Rouse again. See the two of them. Rouse doesn't get ruffled a whole lot. He's telling Stewart right now what happened before. Stewart's saying, I don't want to hear about it. Just get out of here. Cooler heads will prevail.
Take a look at the clock here on the insert. Good job by Coffey in the corner.
Bad scramble with just seconds to go. Coffey got knocked down twice by the Dallas forwards. And there's where the puck came loose, and a rip at it by Paul Cavallini. Well covered by Osgood as the time ran out. Square to the shooter. And the period ends 3-1. With Detroit now out shooting the Stars 25-17 over 40 minutes of play. So a lot of power plays on both sides there in the second period. An overhead look at the goalpost after the clock had run out. And the teams get separated and head to their benches. Sean Burr will guest with Ray Lane in a couple of minutes. It's 3-1 Red Wings after 40. Back in a moment.
Time now for Intermission Update with your host, Ray Lane.
Yeah, we're back in Dallas, Texas. Reunion Arena 3-1 after one period of play, or rather 2 periods of play. The Detroit Red Wings on top. They add to their 2-0 lead. Cicerelli his 11th of the year on the power play. Zezel comes back and scores to give Dallas their lone goal so far. It's 3-1. Sean Burr, our special guest. The good news and the bad news. The good news, he had his maybe 5th goal, but the bad news was they took it away from him. Did you think it went in?
Actually, I didn't see it. I just... I was going to the net, and Dino shot, the rebound came, and I hit it, and Dino said it went in, and I watched a replay on the thing, and I thought it looked like it went in. I don't know what the video, judge is looking at, but, that's hockey.
And they're hard to come by, baby.
They're real hard to come by right now.
And also, do you have some kind of an arrangement of where you trip a guy and Dino then goes to the penalty box?
Yeah, I don't think they really knew who did it, and I kill penalties, and Dino doesn't, so I try to sneak me off. I think Stewart told me after, he said he owed me a penalty. I said he owed me a goal too, so maybe I'll take a goal if they want to give me a penalty, but about 10 seconds left.
Tell me about, we're talking about 11, 55, and 22, that combination. Maybe the most effective out there are really raising havoc and keeping the pressure on the opposition.
Well, I think what our line does is maybe we're not going to score a ton, but what we do is we do create some penalties with teams in their own end, since we play a lot in the other team's end, and I think we just... we have good chemistry. We're all pretty intense guys, and we demand a lot of each other, and it's worked out well so far, and we just want to keep playing hard every night. We don't want to try to get too high on ourselves and just try to play the same way every night.
Sean, you have been critical on a couple of times when you figured you wouldn't get in a fair shake. But now as you look at this team, is this team, despite, the points you have right now, the abbreviated season, the best team you think the Red Wings since you've been here?
Well, I think we're playing the best type of hockey to be successful in the playoffs. I think in previous years we were maybe as winning, we were winning, but I don't think we're winning the right way. I think right now we're winning the right way. When you say what's going to be different this year than last year, I mean, our goals against are down, our penalty killing's improved, and those are the things that's got to be important in the playoffs to win.
I don't think I've ever seen a Detroit team, though, a better skating Detroit team and a better passing team.
Yeah, we've got some tremendous skill players too, and when you got guys like Fedorov and Yzerman and Kozlov, guys like that can really pass the puck around, and Shepard and Cicerelli are deadly around the net. So I think we've got a pretty good ingredient right now, and it's fun to play out there.
I know that it wouldn't be fair to you if we didn't mention that you have another season, but you got to be concerned about this in the playoffs. Do you want to talk anything? Get a plug in for the roller hockey?
Oh, we have that going on. There's guys, the guys are working hard at it back in Detroit, but all my energy is concentrated on this, and you know, and until we hopefully July 1 or whenever it is, you know, it's over. I'm going to concentrate most of my time on this. But
tickets are available.
But tickets are available, and it's a lot of fun. And you know, we're going to have a thing on April 18th where people can come down and skate in the floor at Cobo with some of the wing guys will be there, myself, and can pick out their seat if they want season tickets.
We got to go, gang. Back to hockey.
Yeah,
Good luck in the third period. Stay healthy.
Thanks.
Okay, 3-1. 2 periods have been played. Get all set. Dave and Mickey are standing by. We'll come right back. Thanks, Sean Burr. Well, we still got the third period to play, and hopefully the Red Wings can maintain that 2-goal edge, at least get to come out with a victory today. But no rest for the weary, because once this game is completed, the Red Wings will not be lingering. Right back on the plane, head back to Detroit. That means the St. Louis Blues come in for an afternoon game tomorrow, and then Detroit hitting the road for 4 games. We'd like to remind you, though, right here on TV 50 next Friday night, this is added to the schedule now. Red Wings will be playing, of course, in San Jose on the 5th. On the 7th, up at Toronto, we'll have that game for you on TV 50, and that will be at 7:30. We mentioned a couple of other matinee games going this afternoon. The New York Rangers leading Boston, and oh, how the Rangers need a win here. Leading Boston 3-2. That game of the third period at Pittsburgh right now, clinging to a 1-goal advantage. 3-2 over Philadelphia. And Buffalo leading the Islanders. Oh, the Islanders having a horrible season. 4-1 on the third stanza. Don't go away. Dave and Mickey will be coming right at you.
Back at the Reunion Arena, where the Red Wings lead the Dallas Stars by a score of 3-1. Dave Strader back along with Mickey Redmond. Spoke with some folks here in the second intermission, Mick, that talked to the people on the video replay that said that the net did become dislodged before the puck crossed the line. Every angle that we had, of course, it was inconclusive, and Sean himself even wasn't sure, but apparently it did come off, and Dallas took advantage by scoring a goal. We're going to have a look at the 2 goals in the period, one by Detroit on the power play and one by the Stars here on the telestrator.
Well, the Shane Churla penalty at the end of the second period pays dividends for Detroit. Right off the face-off at center ice. Watch this guy right here, Cicerelli. He's going to be the key guy, and Yzerman's going to make the play from the far side. Dallas just kind of peels back. Here's Dino going to go over to the right side, and the pass from Yzerman, boom, right across, and Dino goes in. But that's an average play. Everybody's back. Hold it right there. You got Big Hatcher is covered Fedorov over here. You got an extra Dallas player right here, and in this situation, it's one-on-one. The one thing the goaltender wants to see here is try to get the defenseman to get out of the road, and it's Ludwig standing here. Watch what happens as we let it roll. Dino is going to come to the inside. Hold it right there. Ludwig's already made his move. His weight's on his left side, and when he does that, Cicerelli's got him. Dino does a smart thing here, tries to screen him, and he does that, but when Ludwig went with the weight over on the right side, he could not recover to come back to this side, and Dino just popped by him and picked up the rebound, bingo, right in the middle, and made it 3-0. He got some good lumber on that one to snap it home. 12 seconds into the period. Later in the period, about the 11-minute mark, Dallas gets a break. Detroit's got full control. Hold it there. See your right winger up here. Boom, no problem. They're all setting up, basically, for the offense because you've got full control with your guy, Lidstrom, right here. Dallas on the forecheck. Go ahead and run it. He tries to go to Paul Coffey, but Zezel made a turn. Another Dallas player. Boy, we're moving. Here we go. Let's get my circles right. There was the deflection off Paul Coffey's skate, and that was the turnover. Puck held in right there by Peter Zezel, and he'll just drive to the net. I don't think anybody touched it, and it got underneath the right pad of Chris Osgood. If it's not touched, not a goal that Osgood normally would allow, and he'll be the first one to tell you that, but you can't tell definitively that that puck went in there. It looked like it was not deflected, but again, just a bad break. But Lidstrom, another time, going to look at that situation. He's probably just going to go up the boards out of trouble because Coffey was covered. And you don't want to give the puck to a guy that's covered. There's nothing he can do with it.
Well, the Stars ended up out shooting the Red Wings 14-7 in that period, but the Red Wings still in control. They lead at 3-1. We'll be back to look at our scoring summary and special stats right after this. Back at the Reunion Arena, Dave Strader along with Mickey Redmond as we take a look at the scoring summary. The Red Wings led it 2-0 coming into the period. They made it 3-0 on the power play goal by Dino Cicerelli, Yzerman, and Fedorov assisting. And then Zezel on that miscue took advantage at 11:08 unassisted. And there you see the shots on goal. Dallas, surprisingly, it doesn't seem like they doubled up the Red Wings in terms of shots on goal. But again, that's not always indicative of quality chances as we have a look at our special stats.
Well, the Red Wings did not get a whole lot of pops on the 2 power plays that they had on the Dallas net, but a 2-period total of 13-8 quality chances favoring Detroit, 15-18 on the faceoffs. And look at the penalty minutes, 22 for
well,
Dallas.
Wait a minute,
that's not right, is it?
That's penalty minutes. I don't think that's power play time.
We will check that one.
Yeah, right. Matter of fact, Dallas will have 59 seconds to work on the Terry Carkner penalty when this third period begins. After this.
Red Wing Hockey brought to you by Delta Dental Plan of Michigan. Delta, right where you belong.
Back at the Reunion Arena. Both teams back out on the ice. Again, Terry Carkner, who went off at the 18:59 mark of the second period, while Dino Cicerelli still had 6 seconds left on his penalty. Red Wings killed off the 2-man advantage. Let's get to our second clue of Who Am I, brought to you by the Wellness Plan, an HMO that's good for you. This player scored his first career playoff overtime goal to win Game 5 against the Red Wings during the 1993 Stanley Cup playoffs. When you think you have the answer, put it on a postcard to that address. Remember, we'll select one winner from all correct responses to win a couple of tickets to a future Red Wing game. Paul Coffey, as some of the media were talking down in the press room before the game this afternoon, is going to get serious consideration for the Norris Trophy with the tremendous year he's having. And also, some of the writers talking about MVP consideration because he really has had such a great year. But as you and I were talking the other night, Mick, it's tough on a Red Wing team that is so talented and very well balanced. It's hard for one guy, although Sergei Fedorov did it last year. And Sergei probably garnered most of his support, rather, for the MVP trophy while Steve Yzerman was out with his injury.
Yeah, certainly did. And he was strong and back to his old self the other night against Dallas at home, bearing down and dumping that puck away without thought.
Sergei Fedorov in his last 3 games, a goal and an assist in each game, and he has 2 assists here this afternoon. So the Stars would like to get something early, but a steal! Brown didn't realize it was behind him on the blind pass by Fedorov, and the Stars come back. Here is Hatcher into the zone, checked by Brown. Lidstrom knocks the puck loose. Chipped by Brown. It doesn't come out. The star player fell down. That was Trent Platt. Dallas center. Here is Platt. Goes back to the line. Kevin Hatcher. Long backhand shot. Bouncing puck. Madonna stopped.
Stop there.
Look again.
Wow.
Covered by Osgood.
Boy, that thing like a hot potato bouncing around the net. That was a good stop originally by Osgood. Not sure whose stick it came off of. There were a couple of Stars in the area.
I think Madonna was the one that let the shot go.
Hatcher that let the backhand go through deep in the zone. Right here. There they go to the front of the net. There's the backhander that got through everybody in a bouncer. Look at that. It was Madonna with the opportunity, and there was Gagne to try to chip it home, and Rose to cover up. So another very good save, timely save by Chris Osgood.
Face-off controlled by the Stars. 15 seconds left in the Carkner penalty. Here's Madonna with the hash marks. Has a look. Sends it to the corner. Gagne across, and missing on the one-timer was Platt. They set it up well. It just didn't convert. Here's Platt centering pass. It's knocked away as Madonna was checked, and out of the box comes Terry Carkner. And the Red Wing penalty killers are 4 for 4. Ledyard on the move. Into the zone for Paul Broughton. Broughton dumps it behind Osgood. Taken by Madonna. Madonna backhand pass right in the crease. Osgood with a stop there on Paul Broughton. Now the puck is in, but the whistle had already blown. Most of the crowd here doesn't realize it, but the whistle had clearly blown.
We're going to get some penalties out of this. Stewart looks like he's going to get rid of Gagne, and Konstantinov, who carried on after everything, whacking away at each other. And it was Paul Broughton really that tried to chip it loose from Osgood as he smothered it with his chest and upper body right there. Good save on the backhand. The play's dead there.
It came out, it went off the leg of Mark Howe, it looked like. We'll get a look at it here.
The diving stop by Osgood. That puck there hit Broughton, did not even get to the net. And there's the save with the right arm. There was a second chip whistle gone there that got it loose.
And it is Konstantinov and Gagne that get coincidental penalties. At the minute 17 mark.
Ozzy just playing in game number 5 in a month. He's 2-2 in those last 4 starts. And he continues to sport a very healthy average. 1.98 coming into today, Chris Osgood. Mike Vernon 2.40 for a total of 2.25. Best in the National Hockey League. Next best would be Buffalo at 2.35. And then Washington with Jim Carey hotter than a pancake right now. 1.78 individually and 2.35 on their Washington total. Washington won another big game last night.
There's a shot right through Osgood. The save. He juggles and hangs on. Jim Carey started that game against Quebec, was pulled and then brought back in. Ended up getting the victory as Washington won that 6-4.
It was over Quebec, wasn't it? Osgood talked about this year. He said, you know, a lot of guys talk about an average of 3 goals against. I don't know why I can't keep it under 2.
Well, the way the team is playing in front of both he and Vernon, it is a possibility.
Well, that's the whole story. I mean, as far as getting support is concerned, he and Vernon have played exceptionally well and very timely saves for the Red Wings that they never got in the past on a consistent basis. And when you have a team that takes pride in its defensive responsibilities, it goes a long way to helping keep the quality chances down. A lot of games the Red Wings play and they don't give up more than 10 or 12 quality chances, and that's good.
Fedorov almost hit Brown on another breakaway pass, but it was blocked. 4 skaters aside. Fedorov's pass tipped by Brown deep into the Stars zone. Brown bumped by Cavallini. Brown with 2 Dallas players there, still got a skate on it. The Stars finally come up with it. Ahead now for Gilchrist, batted away by Coffey, recovered by Darian Hatcher. Tried to go to Gilchrist, Coffey was there. He goes to Brown. Fedorov trying to get loose, and Darian Hatcher had a hold of his stick. Here is Fedorov. Cavallini knocks it away. Now Coffey goes for the loose puck. He knocks it free. Tried to pass it across to Fedorov. It was blocked. Stars failed to clear the first time, and now Cavallini to center ice. Plays it ahead off the stick of Modano. Red Wings the other way. Yzerman, will he catch up to it? Kevin Hatcher gives him a hit, much like he did in Detroit the other night. The Stars, again, don't connect on that first pass. 50 seconds left in the coincidental minors to Konstantinov and Gagne. Howe, cross ice, taken on the bank by Yzerman. Rolls it back in deep. Now Rouse is hooked to the ice right in front of Stewart, and he let it go. Bob Airy, the forward, was back playing defense, realizing that Rouse was trapped in there after he was dumped. And that is support, helping each other out. 3 minutes gone by here in the third period. Could be a giveaway here. Burr reaches for it, just chops it back into the Dallas zone. We're down to 10 seconds left in the coincidental minors. Now Burr took it away from Evason. Coffey's pass bounces over the stick of Mike Downey of the Stars. Ludwig looking to clear. Evason gets it center ice. Downey wanted to go with it, but the Wings stole it. Here is Burr. Pushes it into the Stars zone. Gagne has it. Both teams back at full strength as the Stars bounce it out to center ice. Coffey blocks it there. Flips it right back in. Hatcher going after it. Draper goes after him with a good solid hit. And the Stars come out with it. Dessel backhands it in behind Osgood. Osgood stops up there. Karkner goes high up the glass around the boards, and it bounces safely Out to center ice. Ledger mishandles it. Smolik goes back after it. Gives it back to Grant Ledger. Ledger immediately with 2 Red Wings on him. Didn't make the play he wanted to. Now he goes back to Smolik, his defense partner. That was hit, I thought, with a high stick, but nobody seemed to indicate it. Now here's the steal by Smolik, and hops over his stick. Shepard away with it. He's got Taylor coming late, but a good play by Ledger. Came across and cut off Ray Shepard. Taylor, he knocks the Dallas player flat on his rear end. Here's a chance for Harvey. He's in, and what a stop by Osgood. That was almost like a slow motion pass that came through. And it's tipped away here by Shepard back into the Dallas zone. Again, another timely save by Chris Osgood. Here is Coffey. He wants to go with it. Has to flip it in. And it's covered up by Fernandez with 15:19 left in the third period. Red Wings 3 and the Dallas Stars 1. Back at the Reunion Arena. About 5 minutes gone by here in the third. Overhead look at the save on Todd Harvey.
Left shoulder. That's good. Position has been very good today, as it normally is. That was good.
Coffey shot right through Fernandez the save, and he hangs on.
Try it again. Clean wins the faceout. Set that chance up for the point.
Scotty Bowman going with the 5-man unit again. Fedorov, Yzerman on the right, Kozlov on the left with Coffey and Lidstrom.
He's got 3 centermen. Kozlov, Fedorov, and Yzerman. They can all play center and take draws if they have to.
No, really, you look down this Red Wing lineup, a lot of the forwards that Scotty Bowman has at his disposal really are natural centers. Tim Taylor, who led the American Hockey League in scoring last year, did it as a center. Hasn't played a shift, I don't think, at center ice with Detroit this year. Has had to play as a left winger.
Burr and Primo on the other line. They're both centermen.
Stars able to clear here as Lidstrom was tied up at center ice by Mike Kennedy, number 39, who has not seen a whole lot of ice time here this afternoon. He's out there with Gagne and Paul Broughton.
The Red Wings do what they normally do to teams, or what they've done this year to this Dallas team. With a 3-1 lead and 15 minutes to go, the fans won't be happy. Should not be getting caught with 3 guys in and giving Dallas plays like Harvey got when they really didn't have to work hard for them at all.
Back to Hatcher, his shot well wide of the net. Here is Ludwig left point, dumps it back in deep for Kennedy. Kennedy looking for a teammate out in front. Kevin Hatcher sneaking toward the front of the net. Shot, score! That shot came from out near the blue line. I think it was more of a centering pass, but it got through Chris Osgood to make it 3-2.
This goal may look a lot like the goal that Coffey scored on Fernandez in the first period. It went underneath Osgood, I think, between his legs. Flat just got forced to the outside, went back to the blue line, turned around. And again, whether the goaltender was screened, you can't tell from the angle that we've had so far. An innocent looking play. Red Wings all back there. 50-footer. It may have been deflected. Gagne was in front. 15. There's 21 Broughton and Lidstrom 5. Let's see what happened. No, I don't think it touched anybody. It just got underneath Osgood. He was distracted, obviously, about something. And here off the face-off, they crank it off the clock and stop time right away. So a 3-2 hockey game now. There's plenty of time left for Dallas. 14:21 to go.
Well, they're announcing it as Gagne, so he may have just got the tip of the blade on it.
Didn't look like it on the overhead, but they won't really care. They just are happy to be 1 goal closer.
Kennedy and Ludwig assisting on Gagne's 12th of the year. Well, the Stars right back in this game. Goal at 5:34. Here is Darian Hatcher. Now for Churla. Churla, Zezel, and Gilchrist out there for Bob Gainey. Churla steps into Primo. Crowd reacts to that.
Paul Stewart got run over. And they both. And the crowd absolutely loves it when the referee gets knocked in his butt. No damage, though.
Tough job, boy. You got 40 hockey players that don't agree with anything you do. You got 17,000 fans that are cheering when you get knocked over by 2 of the biggest guys on the ice. Here it comes.
Big Churla, Paul Stewart. You know, a hockey player without a stick in his hands like a duck out of water. And Paul Stewart's a former player, as I mentioned. When you haven't got that stick to lean on, boy, he's dangerous out there. When you think about it, these three guys got to patrol around out there with no way to protect themselves. Paul Stewart with a bit of a smile.
Primo wins the draw cleanly. It bounces off of Konstantinov, steered aside by Osgood and cleared by Burr. Darian Hatcher pursued by Cicerelli. Gilchrist across for Churla. Burr runs into him. Cicerelli drops it back for Karkner. Cross for Rouse. Right wing pass over the stick of Cicerelli. Darian Hatcher just flipped it out to center ice. Karkner sends it back into the Dallas zone. Red Wings making a change here as it comes to Churla on the right side. Karkner steps into him. Rouse back to get it. Bob Rouse goes away from the pressure, but gave it to Modano, who whips the shot just wide. And Rouse able to recover, goes up the glass with it, and takes a Red Wing bounce, but the Stars able to keep it in. Good pressure here by the Stars now. They smell an opportunity, and with the momentum, Ledyard shot. Blocked by Erie, and Rouse says, we've seen enough of that, and he goes hard around the boards with it. And they wave off the icing. Smolik tried to disguise it, but he couldn't get to it, and the linesman would not buy it. Now Ledyard too far out in front of Gagne. Pass now for Coffey, and Coffey sweeps it deep into the Stars zone. Fernandez out to handle it, gives it off to Ledyard. Immediately he was pressured, but the pass got through to Gagne. Gagne gets it back for Modano. Poked away by Lidstrom. Here is Draper with a good speed, but he's got a speedster on him, Modano, who knocked him down. Kevin Hatcher back to get it. Red Wings changing very quickly here, very short shifts. As Hatcher looks to rush. Let's go the wrist shot in the glove of Osgood, and he gets the whistle with 12-12 remaining here in the third. The Stars have pulled to within one. Back at the Reunion Arena, the Red Wings outshot the Dallas Stars 18-3 in the first period, but on the overhead clock here, the shots are now 27 apiece. So you see it there. 12-12 left in the period. 24-9, the Dallas Stars have outshot the Red Wings. Donnelly across to Darian Hatcher, a shot right through, but wide of the net. Tipped by Taylor, and Shepherd going after it. Darian Hatcher for the Stars. Fernandez out to play it. And that's out of play.
When they look at that last Dallas goal, they figure Gagne, what may have happened there is the player laid a stick on the ice and it just kind of brushes underneath the bottom of the heel and changes direction enough to make the goaltender look foolish. It looks like he let in a bad goal, but indeed when it changes direction that close in front of you, you don't have any chance at all to react.
Mentioned Dave Gagne, the last 6 years has had 30 or more goals. The only other guys in the league that have done that over the last 6 years, Mike Gartner, Brett Hull, Luc Robitaille, and Pierre Turgeon. So it's a pretty good company there for Mike Gagne, or Dave Gagne rather. Evason and Primo on this faceoff. Taylor was upended. Stars try to clear it up the boards and ends up back behind the Dallas net. Darian Hatcher with a big hit on Taylor. Now Cavallini sends it around. Konstantinov came in for the point. It's off his skate. Darian Hatcher sends it ahead for Dean Evason. Evason against Howe. Oh, Howe took him down. Penalty. Yep, should be one. And the call coming.
A pretty good move. Over on the side by Evason. He faked to the middle and went to the outside, and Howe put the hook on him and pulled him down. Right there, he just sort of hesitated, stutter stepped, and Howe caught him on the right arm. He waited to see if the opening was going to be there. It was. He went for it. Mark Howe put the hook on him, and Dallas goes to the power play in a 3-2 Red Wing lead.
Hooking the call on Mark Howe at 8:25, and the Dallas Stars need to get that power play going. Heading into the game on Thursday night, Dallas had scored at least one power play goal in 7 straight, but they were 0 for 1 Thursday, and so far here this afternoon they have not converted on any of their 4 chances. Better off on the draw. Modano wins it cleanly. Ledyard a shot. That hit Lidstrom in front. He was tied up with Trent Platt. The puck backhanded by Doug Brown down the ice. Fernandez out to handle it. Goes to Gagne. Gagne pressured by Fedorov. Got it to Ledyard. Ledyard back to Gagne. Gagne for Klatt. Tipped by Rouse, and Klatt went offside on the deflection. Now the Dallas Stars have been involved making a lot of close games. The other night was the 14th one-goal game that the Dallas Stars have played. They've won only 3 and they've lost 11.
Well, I guess when you lose as many games as they have, that's about all you got to use is your statistics. That's where the old saying about statistics are for losers comes in, but it certainly does indicate that they're close, obviously, and they're in the game, in every game, so it's something to build on at the very least.
Here's a steal by Brown. Rouse sends it to the boards, and now Airy battling against Modano. Airy one-on-one against Modano. Stars should get somebody else over there. They finally get Klatt. Now Modano gets it loose. Rouse, boy, look at that aggressive play. In forechecking, and Rouse was tripped behind the play. Stewart saw it, just let it go. Osgood stops it. Osgood, nice play to Yzerman, and he didn't get enough on it to clear the zone. And the Stars are going to hold it in. Cross ice for Hatcher. Hatcher fakes. Pass is blocked by Coffey, and it comes out to the line. Stars hold it in. Now it's cleared, and it's out of the reach of Yzerman. Boy, Rouse, the defenseman on the penalty kill, was all the way up in the offensive zone in the corner on the forecheck. Konstantinov able to battle Donnelly and get the puck. Nice move here by Draper against Millen. Cavallini has the angle on him. Draper taken away by Donnelly, but Donnelly's pass deflects off a skate. 15 seconds left in the penalty. Oh, Cavallini winding up. Not sure what he was trying to do there. Now we'll get to our Valvoline High Performance Player of the Game, a regular feature here on our TV 50 telecast that allows us to highlight a specific Red Wing player who stood apart from the rest and gave 100%. Watch TV 50 Sports Extra tonight, and we'll recognize that player as the Valvoline High Performance Player of the Game. Who will it be? Watch the Sports Extra and find out. Scotty Bowman wants to make an immediate change. Bob Rouse coming out to replace Vladimir Konstantinov. 10 seconds left in the Howe penalty. Rouse sporting a bit of a black eye on the right side. 9:45 left here in the third period, and the Wings with a 1-goal advantage of 3-2. They led 3-0. And then there was the disputed goal that Burr put into the net, but they ruled on the replay. It went in after the net became dislodged. Stars with some pressure. Lidstrom knocks it away. Howe is out of the box. Stars still have it deep in the wing zone. Centering pass blocked by Osgood. Pirla and Primo, they battle. Lidstrom comes over, knocks it away. Howe just able to clear the zone. John Burr gets to it, sweeps it deep into the Dallas zone. So a big kill there for the Wings. Nearly a miscue there by the rookie goaltender Manny Fernandez. Again, in case you joined us late, Andy Moog suffered a hip injury in the game at Detroit the other night. Not even dressed. Manny Fernandez, first NHL game, and the backup, Mike Torsia, up from Kalamazoo, also has never played in an NHL game. And they're not certain whether Moog will be ready to play tomorrow afternoon to start the road trip in Chicago. Look out here, a big hit by Sherlund. Konstantinov.
You know he's going to take that opportunity. Sherlund dumped her, looking for a call, none to be.
Konstantinov, the one that got him back. Here is Fedorov. Drop pass for Burr and Cicerelli. Neither one took it. Coffey there to recover. There was the old I got it, you take it play. Fedorov. Skating well again here this afternoon, all over the ice.
Well, when he decides to take control, boy, and bear down, there's not many better, that's for sure.
Yzerman sends it around the Dallas zone. Kozlov takes a shove, rolls it back. Gagne able to stuff it by Yzerman. Now Kennedy with Rouse pinching down on him. Kennedy bounced it off the skate of Yzerman. Yzerman with the steal. Now Kennedy ties him up along the boards. Fedorov digs it out of there. Sends it back in behind the Dallas net. Under 8 minutes left in the third. Red Wings 3, the Dallas Stars 2. Hatcher to Ludwig. Fedorov is just tied up Run Mike Kennedy all the way down the ice. Now here is Todd Harvey. Flips it back for Gagne. He's watched by Fedorov. They get it to Kennedy. A high shot. Blocker saved by Osgood. Rebound stop. Gagne centers. It's tipped away. Held in by Paul Cavallini. That shot hit Partner on the backside. Big hit by Fedorov. Here is Kennedy protecting the puck. Rouse, good, solid defensive play. Pazov able to whip it along the glass down the ice, and an icing here.
Detroit got caught for a short couple of seconds standing around, and Dallas took advantage. He got a couple of good scoring chances as the clock begins to wind down. 7:12 to go in the third. One-goal game.
Coaches, your youth hockey team could be the lucky team selected to be part of the second Wellness Plan Competitors Clinic, which will be held Tuesday, April 18th at the Joe Louis Arena. Deadline for entering April 10th. Be sure to include your name, address, and phone number along with your team's name and the level of competition in the Wellness Plan Competitors Clinic. Here with the Joe Louis Arena, 600 Civic Center Drive, Detroit, Michigan, 48226. Corey Millen crouched down to take this face-off against Keith Primo. And Millen won it cleanly. Hatcher drive just wide of the net. Ludwig hustling to try to keep it in, and he did. Oh, look at the hit on Mark Howe. Never touched the puck, and down they really took a run at him. Stars have really picked it up in the second half of this game after trailing 3-0. It's cleared by Shepard out to center ice. Kevin Hatcher has it. Now for Ludwig. He lobs it back into the Red Wing zone. It's picked up by Primo. He's got Shepard with him. Two Stars are back. Primo looking to go wide. Top of the circle, drives the shot. Hit the skate of Ludwig. And Kevin Hatcher sweeps it to his defense partner. Ludwig checked from behind by Shepard. Millen with a hit on Primo in front of the Red Wing bench. Shepard got a stick on it. They still scrum for it. Now it comes to Kevin Hatcher back inside the Dallas zone. Just over 6 minutes left in the third. Knocked down by Lidstrom with a glove. Recovered by Darian Hatcher. Coffey ties him up. Draper gets to the puck, and the play had been ruled offside at the Detroit line. There's Paul Coffey.
Detroit's making sure that they just line up across that line.
Coffey with one of the goals here this afternoon, Mick. He's up among the leaders in several categories in the National Hockey League. He came in to this game this afternoon second in power play points. Only Bernie Nichols of the Blackhawks has had more power play points. And there's one of the great stories in the league this year. Bernie Nichols. Talk about that in a second. Coffey tied for 10th in overall scoring. First among defensemen for scoring points. Coffey now with Rouse. Draper between Airy and Brown. Draper fights off a hook. Dumps it deep into the Dallas zone. Around the boards. Here is Airy. Sends it back to the corner. Centering pass for Draper. He rolls it back in deep. Darian Hatcher has it there. Hatcher looking cross ice. Gets it to Dean Evason. Dumps it in. Blocked by Airy. Clears it out. Brown took a swipe at it. Darian Hatcher flips it back. Intercepted by Rouse. He gives it off to Brown. Brown left it there for Airy. Airy just dumps it back behind the Dallas net. 5.5 left in the third. Darian Hatcher. Haven't seen him carry the puck a whole lot in these two games. Osgood moves it around quickly. Burr is there. Look out, he's crushed by Churla. That puck stays in the Detroit zone. Back to get it, Konstantinov. Churla knocked Primo down again without the puck being in the area. Here is Smolik. Off the boards now for Gilchrist. Brent Gilchrist. Looking for Modano, who just came off the bench. It's off his stick, and Burr able to slide it back the other way. Intercepted by Kevin Hatcher. Moves it ahead quickly for Gilchrist. Gilchrist never got a shot away, but there's going to be a penalty. It rolled in on Osgood, who covered it up. And there's going to be a tripping call here. And Sean Burr really upset with Paul Stewart, but just 4:48 left in regulation, and the Stars trail by 1.
Dallas will go to the power play, and here's the reason why. The puck gets between the defense. Howe and Konstantinov on the right side. There's Gilchrist in behind. Burr puts a hook, yes, on Gilchrist, although his feet were knocked out from underneath him by Konstantinov with his body. And Paul Stewart said tripping. With 4:48 left on the clock and a 3-2 Detroit lead.
Power play number 6 for the Dallas Stars. Here is Ledger, winds up, blocked, intercepted Fedorov. He's going to look to go here with Yzerman. Fedorov taken to the boards, and Gagne for the Stars. Gives it off down to Mike Donnelly. Donnelly, the former Michigan State standout, was checked at the line, and Fedorov cleared.
Good play by Fedorov there. He bared right down and came back to make that clear.
He's trying to stay on Kevin Hatcher here, who dumps it across in front of Osgood. Eiserman ties up the Dallas player. The crowd wanted a penalty. Eiserman had his arm wrapped around. I believe it was Trent Platt. Puck comes loose. Fedorov has it. And he'll find an opening and backhand it center ice. Kevin Hatcher. And the Stars right back on the attack. Left save by Osgood. And he gets a whistle from Paul Stewart with 1:10 left in the Burr penalty and 3:59 left here in the third. And Mick, that shot there by Kevin Hatcher, the 32nd shot on goal. Look at that. 29-9 since that first period.
Quite sure why Kevin Hatcher let that shot go. It's a power play. A 55-footer shouldn't beat any goaltender. Nobody in front of him. Osgood just held on to it. He had momentum. And a right winger over there, but easy stop for Osgood to kill the play. 1:10 of the penalty, 3:59 on the clock. Part of that is a result that the Red Wings were not trying to force anything. They're up 3-1. They just wanted to do a good job defensively, and that second goal really changes the whole scenario around. Just like an accident, really, the way it went in the net.
Back to the line. Hatcher shot, save, rebound. Madonna, he waited. He was patient, but Osgood stayed with him and made the big save. Minute left in the penalty to Burr. Here is Draper. And Airy drives it deep into the Dallas zone. Fernandez plays it up the boards. Airy battling against two Stars. Lost a stick, lost his glove. Hatcher on the attack. Now it's knocked away from Darian. Right to Madonna. Madonna had it poked away. The Stars get it out to the right point, but Kevin Hatcher couldn't get over there to hold it in. Backhand pass, tipped away by Coffey. Coffey gets it to Draper. Draper getting control and clears it all the way down the ice. 25 seconds left in the Burr penalty. Fernandez drops it off. Paul Cavallini. Little spinorama move there. Now for Gagne. His pass anticipated and stopped by Shepard, who backhands it down the ice. 10 seconds left. 3 minutes left in the third. Paul Cavallini for Gagne. Gagne bursts to speed. It's tipped by Kennedy into the zone. John Burr back out on the ice. The puck still deep in the Detroit zone. Gagne tried to center. It was blocked. Here is Shepard lifting the puck, and it's cleared by Burr. Molick back to get it.
Stars with only one shot on goal during that power play.
Scotty Bowman comes out with his best 5 offensive unit again with the Fedorov, Eiserman, Kozlov line. Lidstrom and Coffey. Here's Kozlov and Eiserman breaking 2-on-1. Eiserman up the right side. Looks at Kozlov. Waits. Slides it across, and Kozlov missed it. Just out of the reach of the blade of Kozlov's stick. Here is Kozlov again. Chips it ahead. Eiserman with Fedorov and Kozlov. Kozlov went to Fedorov behind him. Fedorov tries to center. Blocked by the skate of Kevin Hatcher. He gives it to his brother Darian. Less than 2 minutes left. In the third, we'll keep an eye on Manny Fernandez. Kozlov just making sure he cleared the zone and then cleared out of the way of Shane Churla. Osgood steers that high up the glass. Chipped that by Lidstrom. Like a jump ball in a Mavericks game here at Reunion Arena, but the Wings get it. And Lidstrom able to clear. Icing here? No, they wave it off. Cavallini wraps it around. Less than a minute and a half. Churla's pass bounced off of Draper. Picked up now by Paul Cavallini. Cavallini lifts it softly to the far corner. Downley gets there. Tough angle shot stopped by Osgood. Brown able to clear. Fernandez had started to come. What a hit on Doug Brown.
And Churla going to town. Constantina. Oh, he got stroked by Zezel. They're just pounding him.
1 minute.
Minute left now in regulation. Fernandez is heading to the bench. He goes over. The Stars get the extra attacker. Here is Coffey. Around the board, blocked by Zezel. Zezel mishandles it. Now Coffey gets a stick on it. Poked loose by Airy and cleared out through center ice. Slow rolling puck. There will be no ice in 40 seconds on the clock. Ledyard to Kevin Hatcher. Kevin Hatcher wants to get the red line. He does. Dumps it across to the right of Osgood. Gilchrist Behind the net, Coffey is there. Makes a nifty little play, but the puck comes loose. Chopped out again by Coffey. Gagne has it. Gagne out to the point. Quick shot here. Blocked by Draper. Ends up back in the corner. Coffey bearing down on Gilchrist. Now blocked. Run into by Draper. Here is Cicerelli. He kicks it to the corner. Gagne gets it to the hash mark. Out to Ledger. A shot right through. Just wide of the net.
Oh, the net's off. Look out. We got a penalty shot.
Penalty shot
Penalty
coming.
shot. Bob Rouse knocked the net off the moorings.
Penalty shot with 3.4, and not a necessary play by Rouse, and he's arguing.
Paul Stewart did not hesitate.
No, he didn't.
A split second to make the call. Inside the 2-minute mark, if you purposely knock the net off the moorings, it's an automatic penalty shot. If it's deemed to be purposely knocked off, Paul Stewart went to center ice with the signal immediately.
Oh, Rouse was shoved.
He was knocked from behind.
That is not a good call as we see it there. Watch Rouse. There's the shove, and he goes into the net. Then he does help it a little bit.
That's
just
a
to
tough
make
call to make.
That is right there.
He got cross-checked in the back and knocked into the post.
You know what happened? The net just nudged off a little bit. I think Rouse wanted to make sure that they realized that it was off. But Stewart, maybe seeing that, said, hey, he knocked it off intentionally.
Well, it's strictly his call to make. Whether he thinks it was Gagne that knocked them down. 3.4 seconds left on the clock.
Second time we've seen this call this year, Mick.
It's going to be... That's a tough call to make, as you see it there. Dave Gagne, the longtime North Star, Dallas Star, is going to take the penalty shot.
This will be the 16th penalty shot taken in the National Hockey League this year. So far, the goalies have stopped 12 of 15. There have been only 3 goals scored. Here comes Gagne. The game's on the line. Will it be overtime or will it be a Red Wing victory? Gagne, oh, he mishandled it.
Oh, my, look at what happened. Do you believe this?
Oh, my.
Oh, I have never seen that before. Gagne completely miscued. Could not regain his composure. Osgood went to get it. He hesitated and finally reached out with a goal stick and just touched it. That play was still alive, basically.
Well, how much time does a player have? I mean,
he does. It's not a matter of time.
I don't know that he can go backwards, though.
No, he can't really, but he can reach back. I mean, the play is not broken at that point. And he reached back for it. I mean, he's still got continuous momentum, whether forward or backward, to reach back as he's still going forward. And he could not really regain his composure. The puck slipped off his stick. You don't know if it's the snow down there. Where does he mishandle it? Right there.
Oh, you know, he saw an opening.
He's handling the puck from right to left, and he went to the backhand, tried to bring it back to the front hand, and that's where he lost control. See, right here, he still just barely reached out and back and got it. The play just barely alive there, and nothing happened. Watch this again.
Looks like he sees an opening high on the glove side, and as he put his head down, the puck came off his stick.
Now, if we can get try to take a look at this. Dallas called a timeout. This thing is face off to the left. Here's to take a look at it here. You see Gagne go in. It's right there. See him trying to go to the backhand. That's where the puck stuck to the back of his stick. And as he went to move the stick from the right back to the left, the back of the tape brought the puck with it, and he lost control. Slow this down. So right there. You see that? The back of the stick, he just did not get the puck up and over. And that's what kind of screwed the whole thing up. And boy, that is about as embarrassing as it gets for a hockey player. And it's just a bad break, but
Bob Gagne's club still does have 3.4 seconds, which is plenty of time to make something happen.
I've seen that happen in Showdown when I was participating in that many years ago. But that was for fun and not in an NHL game. And poor Dave Gagne is sad on the one part. There's a happy bunch, Draper and Coffey, and this thing isn't over yet. Big face-off to the right of Osgood. Here we go.
Primo, excellent job. Wins the draw cleanly, and that's going to do it. What a job there by Primo. And so, the power play goal scored by Dino Cicerelli early in the second period turns out to be the game winner. The Red Wings now 21 games with a record of 16-3-2 as they widen their lead over Chicago and St. Louis in the Western Conference. Red Wings sweep the home and home by identical 3-2 scores, and we'll be back to wrap it up right after this.
But it was enough to hang on. One embarrassing moment, and I guess you could say, hey, sometimes it pays to be lucky rather than good. But if you look back for heroes in this game, you got to say, especially with some of the shots taken by the Stars early in this game, that young Chris Osgood was outstanding. And then he gets a little break there on that penalty shot by Gagne with just about 3+ seconds left. Gagne awarded the penalty shot, could have tied the game. And then as he tries a crossover, loses it on the backhanded side. Can't get control of the puck. Chris reaches out, and that ends that play. As Mickey said, one embarrassing moment in the National Hockey League. Lapointe, Coffey, the first 2 goal scorers for the Red Wings in the first period to make it 2-0. Cicerelli then gets the game winner. It comes in the second stanza, his 11th of the year. And after a 3-0 lead, it's Zessel and then Gagne getting his 12th of the year. For Zessel, it was his 5th of the year, and that was a scoring 3-2. Well, the next time that we get together here on TV 50, it's going to be next Friday night, and that'll be up in Toronto, and that should be a win of a game. In the meantime, we've got some hockey to take care of before that time, and that means the Red Wings back on home ice tomorrow against the St. Louis Blues in an afternoon affair, and then they head out to San Jose in the middle of the week. And then we'll look for you on Friday night, TV 50, when we get up there in Toronto. You want to take a look at the points right now. The Red Wings is 48. And that equals the mark of Pittsburgh. And if you want to say anybody else got more points, yeah, Quebec just by 1, 49, looking at the overall league. Now back upstairs to Dave and Mickey.
All right, thank you very much, Ray. A little different script in the game. In fact, almost a complete reversal where the Dallas Stars got a 2-0 lead in the first 3 minutes of the game on Thursday night. It was all Red Wings after that. I think Dallas, as we talked about, had a 6-1 advantage in shots on goal in that game. In this game, Red Wings 18-3 after the first period. They get outshot 31-9 the rest of the way. And Chris Osgood, again, the timely saves actually in the first period when Dallas had only 3 shots on goal. Every one of the 3 were quality chances. Mike Donnelly had a breakaway that he mishandled the puck. We should have known maybe that was an indication at the same end when Dave Gagne had the opportunity on the penalty shot. He mishandled the puck. We're going to have a look at one of the outstanding stops that Chris Osgood made against Mike Modano, who, again, because of the ankle, was not himself here this afternoon.
Well, this was late in the period before the penalty shot try by Gagne on the power play, and Modano got an opportunity on the rebound right there. Osgood, it was too close for Modano really to do much with it, but Chris, very agile there, stayed with him, shut everything down on the short side, and there was nothing there. But the Stars, I suppose if you look at a game like this, I would think that Bob Gainey, of course, not happy that they haven't won again, but I would think that he's going to look at his hockey club and say, we're not playing poorly, we're working hard. In that second and third period, I think the quality chances, Dallas had about 10 roughly, if I remember correctly, after 2 periods. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up with close to 20, and that's lots of quality chances in a hockey game, but they just were a little, like a day late and a dollar short. It passes in the feet and things like that, but they worked hard. They did create their scoring chances, and that's the kind of things you use as a barometer to see overall if your hockey club is playing well or playing poorly. If it hadn't have been for Osgood in this hockey game, as it turned out, Dallas probably wins this game.
Well, as you mentioned, with the scratch of Russ Courtnall, and Mike Modano touched on it during the first intermission with Ray Lane, not necessarily that he disagreed with Bob Gainey making that decision not to dress Courtnall, but Modano pointing out that Courtnall's an important player. I think Bob Gainey, as a lot of coaches will do, it's not necessarily the player that sits out or just the player that sits out. It sends a message. Here's a guy that was playing on the top line with Modano and Gagne the other night, and then he's out of the lineup. Russ Courtnall was probably suffering from some of the same things that have affected a lot of the Dallas Stars. Again, not really having much flow in their game here this afternoon, but Manny Fernandez, his first NHL game, he held the fort for a while, gave up the bad goal to Paul Coffey that he'd like to have back, but it looked like the Dallas Stars decided, hey, this kid did a heck of a job early on. Let's give him some support. They did. The Red Wings didn't get much at the rookie goaltender in the last 2/3 of the game.
It's a bad goal if he wasn't screened or his concentration taken off of it, and we really don't know that happened. Very much like the goal that was scored against Osgood to make it a 3-2 hockey game from 50 feet out. If Gagne indeed did tip it, then that's the reason. But a goal you didn't have to work hard for, and you hate to give those kind of goals up. They usually come back to haunt you. And the Dallas Stars really in the overall look at this hockey game, you get down 3-0 to a team like Detroit. You know, you're thinking, man, it's going to be pretty difficult to get back in this game. But they did, as the Red Wings pretty much were shut down themselves. Dallas did pick it up in the hockey game and really jumped. They had a very poor first period. They didn't work very hard. Detroit was racking on all cylinders. and that's why you had the 18-3 shots on goal. But after that, Dallas did pick it up. They worked harder, and usually hard work pays off in success and scoring chances, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, as we take a look at the standings again, Ray mentioned, I should say, 48 points now, a 7-point margin over Chicago, 8 over St. Louis, coming into Joe Louis Arena tomorrow. Again, that's a 3 o'clock start, not 3:30 as you'll see on the pocket schedules. It's a 3 o'clock start. St. Louis has won 4 in a row. They've given up only 5 goals in those 4 games. Mike Keenan has his team turned around.
They certainly are playing very well, and, of course, lots of controversy over there with Mike. He was after Janney early. They made the trade, and then, of course, he got on Shanahan for a while. And then he's all of a sudden caught fire, scored a couple of goals last night in that win over San Jose. But again, they're always good when St. Louis and Detroit gets together. A lot of matchups, interesting matchups in this game tomorrow. And it doesn't get any easier because you've only got about 15, 16 games left. And either people are banging for the top spot or position up there, or they're just struggling down at the bottom like Dallas is, trying to hang in there with 2 or 3 other teams to get that second last playoff spot.
Well, we'll find out if there's going to be an opening game in baseball on Monday afternoon. If there is, we'll have it for you right here on TV 50, the new home for Tiger baseball. Opening day, Tigers and the Kansas City Royals scheduled for 1 o'clock. And don't forget the change in the schedule, 7:30 next Friday night at the Maple Leaf Gardens. The Red Wings take on Doug Gilmour and the Toronto Maple Leafs. That'll wrap it up here from the Reunion Arena. For Ray Lane down in the studio, Toby Cunningham down on the truck, and for my partner, Mickey Redmond, this is Dave Strader saying so long. The final score here in Dallas, Texas, the Red Wings 3 and the Dallas Stars 2.